What is good, folks? Welcome back to the Games Done Quick channel and to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you don't know what these are shows that we scatter in between our awesome Games Done Quick and our Summer Games Done Quick events, ranging from different themes. Sometimes they're special one-offs, sometimes they're just something, completely random, or just what we've got going on here. My name is Hypnotics, and I have the joy of bringing you lot going places. Going places I describe as a bit of a speedrun travel show where we have a look at sort of exotic destinations sometimes, where we find games that might not have released further abroad. So basically, region exclusive games, as well as games that we can take on the go on our travels on portable consoles. I believe I'm trying to remember what we had 2 weeks ago. Oh dear. I'm going to be honest, folks. I'm feeling it a little bit today. Feeling a little bit rough. But we had 2 weeks ago we had Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, and we're going from one extreme to two extremes next. We're actually going to be going from some incredible, athletic feats to some different professions, I suppose. We are going to be spying, I suppose. That's 007's whole thing. You'd expect the British guy to know, but we're going to be starting off with From Russia with Love, with muffins, and then later on we are going to be whipping up some mean dishes with Ratatouille, but not the Ratatouille that you might be familiar with on this channel. It's going to be on the PSP. Today's big theme is PlayStation portable games, which, let me tell you, there are some killer speedrun games to be had on the PlayStation portable. That wasn't an intentional pun, but who knows? Maybe there'll be some killing to do in this game. But Muffins, how are you doing?
Thank you, Hib. So yes, hello, everybody, lovely people of GDQ. I'm indeed Muffin or Muffins, whichever works you can call me. Either way, I'm a speedrunner of variety of kind of games, and today we are showcasing this movie-based PSP version From Russia with Love. And I do have some person helping me with commentary. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sergeant Silent. I also run this game. I took world record from our friend here, Muffins, and he took it right back. And this game has developed a lot. You might recognize this game if you were here about 2 months ago, where I was running it. It's Muffin's turn now, and he's going to show you why he's better than me and has a world record now.
Well. But yeah, indeed, the run has evolved quite a bit during the last couple of months. And actually, we have quite a lot of time to talk about that. But before we start the run itself, we could do a really quick manipulation magic thing over here. So basically the way game works, if there's a cutscene like this or certain loading screen, the game's logic is if we have seen that before and start again like we do now, it's way faster. The load of the cutscene is way faster, so it's always worth it to to do this very fast manipulation over here before starting the run.
Yeah, and it's not just like way faster. It's almost non-existent. You'll see when we start. It was funny. I called that a manipulation on stream one day, and it was like, yep, it's a manip now. It sticks.
Indeed. So yeah, we will be running with the easiest difficulty, aka the operative difficulty, and timing will start when I select this difficulty. So I give you the countdown in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck, Muffins.
Thank you. All right, here we are in London. So we are running this first room pretty much. Actually, the next room we are about to enter, there will be first fight. You will see immediately that I will be switching to this kind of a, how would you say, such a scope vision or something like that?
Zoomed in, basically. I called it Bond vision, but yeah, zoom.
Yeah, I like Bond vision too. But this is first kind of a like obligatory fight and room we have to do.
It's unironically one of the hardest rooms. You will spend a lot of time entering that room and going, I didn't like that, and restarting the run immediately.
That's very true. That now that went pretty good, but it could have gone way worse. yeah, that's a very big reset point in the run. But yeah, speaking of running, we will be running this section mainly. There will be a couple enemies we will be shooting, and there's two main reasons. One of them, well, naturally, like this guy is kind of in our way. That's the first reason. But if you look at the bottom right corner, you see a yellow bar next to our weapon. And basically that's kind of like our XP for the game. And we can talk about this later in the run, but for now just know that upgrading the weapons will be really beneficial and mandatory for this run. And we have actually thought of the weapon upgrading routing quite a bit for the run. It's one of the key factors actually.
Yeah, a lot of the last 2 months has just been which weapons do we upgrade when and for what purposes. The game's linear in the story part, but very open in the what do I want to do and when do I want to do it part. So it's ever evolving.
Absolutely. I guess story-wise, we could say quickly that if you're wondering what are we doing on this London anyways, I think this was kind of some kind of like a political party or festivity or something like that, and the bad guys decided to come here and kidnap, I think it's Prime Minister's daughter, isn't it? I believe.
Yep. Yes, the Prime Minister's daughter.
Yeah.
Her daddy is a very powerful man.
Yes. All right, now we are suddenly in a jetpack, because why not? This is a Bond game after all. And we are fighting in none other place than the Big Ben itself. How fitting.
Yep. It's a boy, Big Ben. So
this property damage is unreal.
I think it's fine.
So yeah, there's a chopper fight we have to do, and speaking of damage, I'm so low already, I have to play this a little bit careful, but there is a...
Yep.
I guess you could say that chopper goes in a semi-consistent pattern, and we are able to, you know, as you see, fly pretty close to it and do some pretty consistent damage to it.
Yeah, every time he fires a rocket, if he's too close, it will damage him as well, and the HP is a little scary there, but he got through it fine. That's what matters. We're at a 1, no save boss.
Yeah.
That while we're heading into level 2, which is mostly a lot of just memorizing where to go and running, something I want to point out in like the last 2 months, one of the big things that's come up is looking at that clock tower fight. It used to be done a completely different way, and then when I came in and started running it, Muffins kind of adapted it, and that's just a good example of, like, we used to go front on, right, left, but now we used to go all the way around left, and now we go front, left, and that little time save is an example of just how one small adjustment can change everything in this run. Like, it can save 10 seconds here, 2 seconds there. This is a great game if you're just looking for teeny optimizations to save that time, little itty bitty places, from which gun do we upgrade to which path do we take to which movement do we take. There's a lot in this game that we couldn't possibly cover in this. But it's really worth emphasizing that just that one little battle can change everything.
Yes, that is very true. And yes, now we are on the second level called Hedge Maze, which is, you know, I guess you could say, is this really hardly any maze itself? Well, I guess it's pretty easy to remember the route. But yeah, there's not so much tech in this part of the level itself, other than, I guess, the small time saves are just try to run as optimally as you can, you know, take
and I've noticed what you've been doing is choosing selectively which enemies to take out. Originally, we took out the guy on the right. Then I started taking out the guy on the left. And now Muffin's like, we don't have to take any of them out. And he just ignores them all.
Yes. And also, one of the reasons, you will see it in a couple of minutes, it's also related to the weapon upgrade itself. Because now you can see we actually have already upgrade we can use. And we also used to upgrade the pistol here. But now I don't want to do that. Instead, we just... Oh, what is that guy flying?
Oh, that's rare. Yo, let's go.
That's rare. But yeah, this is the only mandatory fight in this Hedge Maze level we have to take. We cannot go through the door before we have killed all of the enemies. And this is also a pretty annoying fight to do optimally, but it went okay this time.
it's 2 waves of 4, and usually what's going to happen is one of the guys is just going to go out to who knows where land, and you have to chase them down. That's going to be a pretty common theme in those fights.
Yes, now we met the important character M from the Bond franchise, and we just have to wait like 30 seconds or something. We can watch some slideshow over here. But basically, we are about to go meet, well, M is explaining about this, but we are about to meet the inventor of MI6, which is, you know, the basic, like the agent organization. We are about to meet Q, and he will be giving some gadgets for us, like really important gadgets. But here we just have to wait for a certain voice line, and then we are going to start running into the door. We cannot do it too early, otherwise we are going to lose like 10 seconds or something like that, I believe.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, and the subtitles are pretty useful for this as well. For this
There we go.
optimal time.
Yep. And you do have to be careful not to walk too close to the desk clerk, or you'll talk to her instead and you lose more time.
Yes, that's true.
Good morning, 007.
So yeah, there's Q, and actually first of all we are watching Q-copter, what do you know? Surprising name. And then we ran straight to the rappel belt over here, both important gadgets we are using in different parts of the run. Sarge actually found out that it's faster to go check the Q-copter first. I always used to go first to rappel belt and then the Q-copter, but it says like 2 seconds or something like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was like 1.7. It was super minor, but I was like, you know, maybe it does, and I just timed it out. I was like, yeah, no, it does.
Yes, and actually, sorry, please continue.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Continue. I was just gonna talk about the spy watch. Please feel free.
Yeah, actually same here. So actually we also did get a third gadget, this spy watch, and we're just going to run past these robots over here, and they are a little bit RNG heavy and sometimes can mess up your movement pretty annoyingly, but this time they like to behave. Luckily.
Yeah, that was pretty nice movement. They can just decide you're not getting through. Also, this is a good example of why we're playing on and what is the easiest difficulty? Ensign or something? Too many shooter games. This is a good example of why we're playing on this, because if you go even 1 difficulty up, that mission changes entirely, and you don't want to play this game on the hardest difficulty unless you're ready for a commitment.
Yes.
Now, this is a change. For me, if this is a change, if you'd like to explain what you just did.
Yes, so you didn't maybe even have time to notice, but I very quickly right when the level started, I picked the RPG. Right now we have a way bigger weapon arsenal. Like the first 2 levels we only had a pistol and an SMG, but now we have like basically almost all of the weapons in the game. And I decided that I would like to upgrade the RPG because it does so much damage. Like we can kill these 3 enemies with 1 shot here. Basically, the whole point of this first part of the level is we have to rescue 4 hostages, and we have rescued 2 of them, like we are halfway through. And
and I think
please
this reroute with the rocket was found, what, like a week ago, and you started implementing it already?
Yes, and definitely shoutouts to our glitch hunter, Ghost. Because Ghost was
big
responsible
shoutouts
for
to
that.
him. Yep. There's a working theory on something to do in this room as well. You'll notice like Bond gets stuck on doorways with people. That's one of the reasons we want to like take the guards out and get out as soon as possible to avoid stuff like that. But right now, just taking them out the way we know how to is good.
Yes.
Don't need to worry about any experimental strats.
Exactly.
You know,
I guess.
What do you use the last rocket for? Because you could potentially take those 2 guys out.
That's true. That's true. Some of these levels, there's definitely, as we talked about earlier, one of the biggest routing things is the whole weapon upgrades and weapon usage thing. But you are right. There is some extra rockets we could use, for example, here. And speaking of weapons, we just grabbed the what is called the sniper. But what do you know?
Sniper?
What do you think? Will we be using it? No, we don't. Why would we?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, for the longest time we did because, makes sense. Game gives you a sniper. Why wouldn't you use it? But the controls on these games, how would I put this? They are not perfect. Basically because this is a PSP game. And actually, Yeah, it's a PSP game, and actually you can only aim with the left analog stick. That's the only way you can aim, even though I'm personally playing on emulator. But yeah, that's the only way you can aim. So it's very finicky with the sniper itself.
Yeah.
So we are just going to...
As you can see,
yeah,
the moment we swap to the AK, which is by far the best gun in the game, when we start aiming at these guys, the game, because PSP, it's a PSP, you can't like twin stick shooter, let alone mouse and keyboard shooter. It really prioritizes making sure we're aiming at the enemy's weak spot, which is very good for us. And one reason we don't need the sniper, which would manually aim at everyone, when the game will just automatically aim at everyone for us.
Yeah. One really convenient thing about this is also these enemy spawns they are consistent. They are scripted. Basically, every time you can just memorize them. Shout out to that enemy that dies in like
nice. Yeah, it just done. Cutscene over.
Yes.
Now,
okay, now we're entering.
Surprisingly,
now we're entering
Go on.
Sniper Alley, and something a little bit interesting might happen now.
Yes.
So we are going.
Now, I attempted this, but you're gonna show up how to do it proper with this lineup.
Okay, let's see. I did bonk. Hold on. Does this work? First try. Let's see. There we go.
Hey,
Ooh,
first try.
Nice.
So this was first.
Saves...
This was our example of wall riding. So as you saw, we picked an RPG, and basically when we line ourselves up in a certain spot, and then if we press triangle, because this game actually, while you're aiming with certain weapons, you can move by pressing the face buttons. So if you just press triangle, which is like you move forward, we can just pretty consistently, if we aim at a certain spot, we can wall ride, as you saw there. It's pretty convenient.
Yeah, it wasn't consistent yet when I tried to do it, and then Muffins came in and was like, well, actually, if you just do it like this, or Muffins and Ghost, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's consistent now. Nice 7 to 10 second time save over running through what you're supposed to.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
For the longest time, I was very doubtful about that as well. I didn't use that for that long. It's pretty recent. I started to implement it, but Ghost basically, yeah, he mentioned how to do it consistently. All right, so here's one new strat. We pick the RPG to take those guys out, then just take this big brute. And now this is a little bit hard. I'm going to try to line up the grenade in a certain spot, and immediately when the enemies spawn on that building, let's see. It might actually. This looks pretty good. Hold on.
I think that's good. You got it inside at least.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Well, at least couple spawn, but that's not a big time loss. That's really convenient. That's really good. Not a big time loss.
Yeah, that's nice. Doing that, you didn't have to run over to the side, which makes it awkward to shoot these guys. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. And actually, ironically...
And the good thing...
sorry, please say.
Go on. The good thing about grenades is you don't have to upgrade grenades for them to be just as efficient. That was something we were talking about, because you have limited upgrade available to you. So what we don't have to upgrade to still make the most use out of, like those grenades, is always good.
Yeah. Also, I have to mention, ironically, even though this level is called Sniper Alley, yet again, we won't really be using the sniper.
We're taking liberties with the term sniper.
Yeah. Here I have to be a little bit careful because couple days ago I noticed it's actually possible to shoot the rocket above. You know, there's ceiling, not ceiling really. It's possible.
Yeah. So that was another strat that I found and implemented. We used to snipe that guy. Like that whole mission used to be a sniper, and then I was like, you could just use the rocket here. And then we're like, you could just not use the sniper at all here.
I don't know if you heard, but that was one of my favorite non-skippable cutscenes in the game. That I love that dialogue.
It's great. Russian clocks are always bam. It's a good one.
Okay, now we are going to use our Q-copter, the gadget we mentioned earlier. And there's a couple new things. Well, first of all, we are going to upgrade it. You'll be see later why, not yet. But I'm going to do a little bit of 007 staple tech called strafing. It's really common in 007 speedruns overall. I personally am not that good at this. Sarge is way better than me at this, but I try to manage. How you
I
estimate?
expected like as soon as you hit a wall, I thought that it was gonna explode. I thought that it would be something that you know you'd have to be incredibly intricate with, like you can't touch anything. But nah, just go straight into it.
Nah.
Let's go for the speed. Yeah, nothing more. Luckily.
Class.
Oh, I saw there was an idea in the Discord of using grenade in that hallway. You didn't choose to go for that.
Yeah, I did, but I personally couldn't get it consistent. I might have to practice it a little bit more.
Okay.
But I couldn't.
Grenades are not consistent. Is one of the big takeaways I'm getting here, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Takes a little bit effort.
Speaking of this is the first stage where, like, I would say everything before this has been relatively easy. This game takes the run and gun to another level. There is a lot of enemies, and it's basically a giant escort mission, and we need to manage our ammo correctly. It's very easy to run into a room with no ammo and be very sad for a little bit till we get more.
Indeed. Last level in Gypsy Camp and Sniper Alley, we didn't explain about Kerin, the whole character we were escorting. But for now, couple next levels, we will be escorting this character called Tanya or Tatiana, however you want to pronounce her name. She's pretty important in lore-wise if you happen to know the lore of the original movie. Okay, here's a little bit minor skip coming. We equip the copter, stand here, and if we are fast enough, we can move it before the cutscene triggers. Yes, there we go.
Yep, nice. Now, you have to be in a specific spot far enough forward. If you're too far forward or not forward enough, you actually won't hit that trigger. Very annoying.
Yes, I've lost some runs to that previously. Yep. Okay, we'll be doing a little bit of strafing here, continuing doing that, but in a moment you will be, this is very new strat found by Ghost as well, you will be seeing the reason why we actually upgraded the copter in the first place. Well, actually, technically, I guess you don't really see it fully, but I can explain. In the next room right there, there's a lever, but turns out if we upgrade the copter, we can explode the lever or console, whatever, already from the vent itself.
Yeah.
That's pretty convenient.
It saves quite a decent amount of time because when you're trying to micro move the copter, it's not very quick.
Indeed.
Well, you can just drive it into a wall, bam, done. This is upgrading the revolver is another one of those more pseudo recent things. This was a suggestion that I put forth in the Discord because a lot of the time we'll run out of one ammo. The game has a priority system. It will default after the pistol, it will default to the revolver, and then it will default to the AK. So I was like, we end up using the revolver so much as is. What if we upgrade it? How will that pan out? And I take it from your gameplay, Muffins, that you particularly enjoyed making that decision.
Definitely. Exactly because we end up losing the silence pistol ammo. Well, technically, there's later moments we can talk about this more, but we didn't yet even explain fully the speed difference of the, pistol and two-handed weapon stuff. But the only downside with the revolver itself is the loading speed. Actually, I'm going to unequip now because the reload speed is so slow. And in this game, for some reason, every time you want to interact with something, you have to press X, and it happens to be the same key binding for the reloading itself, and you cannot interact before you have reloaded. That's really stupid.
When you start to learn this game, one of the first hurdles you have to get used to is make sure you reload your gun before you interact with something. Yes. Because you'll just sit there like, why am I not doing anything?
It will become muscle memory. Okay, now there's a new strat as well. Would you like to explain all the different versions of this?
So originally, we ran up to the vault, we pulled out a laser watch, and we went, okay, these are locks, we have to break them, cool spy style. And then I hopped in and pulled out the AK and went, nah, you could just shoot these locks. And Muffin's like, oh, that's cool, okay. And then Ghost comes in and is like, you could just shoot a rocket at it from the other side of the room and just get teleported over there. And we're all just like, why didn't we think of that? Just bam!
That's like the third version we are doing it already, basically. Okay, do I have AK?
I'm telling you guys.
Yes, I do.
I'm telling you guys, like, this game has so many small, you wouldn't think about it, but it's like, nah, you use this one weapon differently in this one spot, and so many pieces falling together. It's crazy.
For sure. Okay.
You were living life on the edge that level with your HP.
Yes, I wanted to play a bit risky, admittedly. Yes. Alright, now we are entering train. This is pretty iconic scene in the movie, even though it's quite different in the game itself. And this, the train section itself is pretty interesting because for the longest time, at least personally, I used to think this section works purely on timer. Like, you know, you don't really have to kill a certain amount of enemies. Game just progresses itself. But pretty recently, I have noticed that can't be true because I've noticed that my goal for this area is definitely, you know, in my goal, I definitely do this section very fast, you know, I kill them very fast, so it can't be true, it's not being on timer, you know?
Yeah. I think it's like 17 enemies, 18 including the big guy, and it ends just like that. Like, the moment that last guy is done, it's over.
Yeah. But that's pretty iconic in the movie. There's like the, you know, whole red wine with fish moment for everybody who knows the lore pretty well.
Yeah. That's definitely from the movie.
Yeah.
This is a room we're talking about implementing some new strats in. I see we're just going with the AK that we know and love here. The AK can basically be called old reliable in this game. Like, we love our AK. It is just such a good gun in this video.
Indeed. And now we're getting to a section where you did it in your last GDQ run, but this is still somewhat new strat. So there's this lever we have to pull, and as you saw, the gate opened over there, and game really wants us to go, you know, counterclockwise back there, but turns out we can just run past here.
They just left the back gate open, and it was like, oh, okay. Now, you'll notice in the top left, Escort's health is a little scary.
Yeah, no, it's actually way scarier than should be.
As long as we get through the door before the game fades out, we're okay, though. It's actually surprisingly generous. But yeah, that went well, I would say.
Yeah.
Even though it looked scary, overall, you have a lot more time than you think.
Yeah, and that's definitely RNG. Of course, you can technically kill the enemies yourself, but it's still quite RNG how that section goes. Okay, and this we used to, well, I did upgrade the sniper, but we actually, Ghost noticed that we can also take, there's these 3 turrets, and we can just take these first 2 with 4 RPG such, and that's way faster than killing them all with the sniper only. Way faster. Oh. We only use the sniper for this last turret over here.
I'm along for the ride, guys. I'm learning with them. It's great. Yeah, so you could see how long it takes to do 4 shots. We used to do that for each of them, and now 2 rockets, or easy. And now upgrading this is very important because we're coming up on the, I guess, first boss of the game, and we used to do this by trying to essentially manipulate him into moving a specific way so that we could constantly get headshots on him. But again, we have to shout out our friend Ghost, who came up with a very spectacular setup to just take it, aim, slide into position, and when you do that, you can then aim, and Red Grant is already exactly where we need him to be, and he will not move from this spot. It's just a simple headshot. I think it's 8 headshots on this difficulty, and that's it. He's over.
That's perfect.
How much time did you gold your split by when you first did that?
Honestly, I'm kind of sad I don't remember exactly, but it was pretty much, like quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's very good RNG money. Very good.
Just to really emphasize, the world record 2 months ago was 41 minutes. World record today is 36 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong, Muffin.
Yeah.
That's 5 whole minutes of time save and optimizations in the last 2 months.
Yeah, it's
just from doing things slightly differently.
Exactly. Yeah, I have to. Also, I guess we have to mention that Well, actually, before that, the reason we just interact with the lever, you can see there's 2 of these blue landing zones. Game wants you to go to the other landing zone as well and interact with other lever to disable the electric field complete, but turns out you can just interact with only one of them. You don't have to fully. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
So,
do we get a Bond moment? We do.
There we go. Nice.
Classic moment.
One of the things, cut me off if you have something you want to talk about, but one of the things we didn't mention is this is the PSP game. This is not the PS2 Xbox game. So pretty much all of your questions you guys might be having is, wait, I don't remember this, or there wasn't this here. Very different game. This game cuts out all the driving, all the boating, all the turret sections, a lot of like weird inner level sections, like the heading from one factory building to another. It's like 2 hours faster. It's getting even more than 2 hours faster. So this is just a totally different experience from what you might know on the home console.
Yes, that's very true. We should have said that way earlier. And the other reason it's way faster, in the console version, you sadly cannot skip any of the cutscenes, and there's naturally even more of them. So there's that. In the PSP version, we actually can skip the cutscenes too. That's a major difference as well.
That's my first time seeing the grenade strat done in a run. That is such a good strat.
Yeah.
That's changed like 3 times. We first used to plant the bomb, kill everyone, then laser watch it. Then I changed it to laser watch first, then you can ignore killing everyone. And then it turns out now you just throw a grenade at it and you can actually hit the barrel through the wall and save even more time.
It feels so janky just thinking about it, how we used to do it, like comparing right now. Yeah.
Someone mentioned this looks pretty decent for a PSP game. Muffins, what's your opinion on this for a PSP game? Because personally, I can say this is I expected this game to be a joke and a meme and to not love it. I fell in love with this game. This is one of the best PSP games I've ever played. It runs very smooth, its gameplay is great, and it's such a short and fun run on that front.
That is very true, like, not to be kidding. That is very good point. And I have to be a little bit transparent. I am playing this on an emulator, and that affects to some stuff like loading as well. But yeah, it definitely, I would say even that maybe enhances the graphics a little bit. But still, this is very much doesn't look that dated as a game, I would say. Very much.
No, it's very good. I mean, the game almost runs at 60 on a PSP, which, like, the frame rate is noticeably good for a PSP game.
Here we could explain, I think we previously mentioned, but this is very clear, like, previously mentioned that it's way faster to run with a pistol rather than the two-handed weapon, and this section really demonstrates it very well.
Yep, I believe I timed it out on a spreadsheet. For every 30 seconds of running with a two-handed weapon, excluding the rocket launcher, so we're talking like the AK, the SMG, you would have saved 7 seconds if you had been running with a handgun. And considering this is a 30-minute run, 40-minute run nowadays, just think about how long we could spend running with a handgun instead of a two-handed weapon, and that's 7 seconds every 30 seconds of that. So it really matters.
Indeed. So here we're just going to take out the tank with 2 shots, and okay, our health is a little bit scary, but there really isn't.
You were a little close.
Yes, I was, but luckily there is only this enemy that might do some damage, and I think even he will even miss us. Even he doesn't hit us.
Like, it's scary, but realistically, we're both like, nah, actually, unless we get horrible RNG, we're fine. We're out. All right. And Octopus Base, this is the last level. We're already there. And boy, is this level a doozy.
Yes, there's a lot of explaining actually in this level. Like, first of all, we must kill this enemy, because if we don't do, there's this room we are just going now. if we don't kill that, the enemy runs here, closes the door on us, and we have to explode the window or something with a Q-copter, and that loses quite a lot of time. But now we can just run here if the enemy doesn't reach the room ever, basically.
Yeah, I believe when I joined the Discord, I read a message that said it's something like 15 seconds. Now, that was before we started updating the Q-copter and improving how we did it and stuff. So realistically, you saw Muffins enter and immediately lock on with Bond Vision to that guy. The game does not have to let you do that. It can just choose the guy on Bond's right instead, and you have to recognize you've done that and readjust. There is so much more time being saved there when you do that cleanly.
Indeed. Well,
and here we just have a nice little on-rails shooter.
Yeah, I would say this is the one only auto-scroller we have in the run. Technically, of course, we want to not take too much damage and preserve our armor, which is the blue bar on the down left. But I would still say this is very close to an auto-scroller if you're just focusing and killing the enemies early enough.
Yeah, there's a couple guys who are annoying. One of the things you might notice is normal enemies will usually go down in one shot. But if an enemy uses a rocket launcher, whether they're a big guy or a small guy, they've actually been upgraded on the amount of health they have, which can be annoying if you don't realize you didn't take them out. Because on this next stop, you're going to see a rocket launcher guy come out after these guys. Unless he's in this wave. No, he's next wave, I think. And right there, if you don't take him out, he'll just hit you with a rocket launcher. And there's even going to be another guy coming to that ledge below us who we're probably not going to take out just because aiming can be a little annoying. Yep, there you go. He hit us.
I actually always want to go for him as well, because I actually did lose my armor here, which is not really desirable, but might not be end of the world, really. Still.
Yeah, it's to further talk about how health and armor works in this. Armor is the blue bar beneath the health. Armor does not come back. We have to manually pick more armor up. So we want to save as much armor as possible so we have it when we need it. Because whenever we enter a new room, it doesn't matter if Bond's health was one hit or full health. He will always get topped off again. So, coming out of this room at full health is meaningless. What really mattered to us is coming out with as much armor as possible, which, again, unfortunately, Rocket Guy from below took a little shot at us. There's not anything we can do about it. There are some backup armors, but I believe Muffins is very confident we should be perfectly fine with none. We've ran through this situation plenty of times.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the reason why earlier in the run I'm out of ammo, oops. Earlier in the run I decided to take some parts really risky and actually like here. This is good moment to demonstrate while I'm killing this. Now I'm almost halfway health, but I'm entering next room. I know I regenerate fully, so I'm not really scared about that, as you can see.
Shield guys, how do they work?
It's way easier with an SMG, but unfortunately I didn't have any SMG ammo, sadly. Yeah, I would have liked that. But speaking of armor, there will be this brute guy now with a minigun. We want to equip the AK immediately, and he will actually drop some armor for us. And ideally, we wouldn't want to take as much damage as we did, because I would say this next section is maybe right now the hardest part of the run, I would say. I would like to focus a little bit if you can take over.
Yep, sure. This has definitely become the new hardest part, and there's no HP refill before this. This is you could call it a boss or mini boss. I think calling it a boss is fine. So basically, we have gotten on the jetpack, and we need to get up to the jet here. Now the thing is, as you can see, we're being shot by rockets, and those rockets will continue to hit us very, very easily if we stop moving even a little bit. So we need to move in a very specific kind of rounded square pattern to make sure that the rockets are never actually getting too close to us. That was very good, despite being as close as you were. I'm very impressed with that.
Let's appreciate this cutscene over here.
I really appreciate that. Turn around, scream for half a second, and then there you go. Remember that scene from the movie, everyone?
Exactly.
They felt the need to include that.
But yeah, the fight.
But yeah, that was good.
Yeah, the fight went really well. One major strat I basically want to always do there is I go like counterclockwise, try to move in a certain pattern to optimize the damage and at the same time, evade the enemy's rockets and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you go counterclockwise, you're also ending closer to the end of that level, which is very important. So yes, this room.
This
you have.
This is
you can explain this. This is new to me.
This is somewhat like historical because, well, there's this rocket on the right, as you can see, and the game intends us to like basically plant 2 bombs over there. And for the longest time, we thought, yeah, we actually have to do that. And there was even a glitch considered, like wall riding, to get straight to the second bomb over here. And the fight itself regarding the first bomb was one of the hardest, and this second one over here as well. But turns out you can just literally run here, glitchlessly skip the first bomb planting completely. We just run here straight away.
You guys don't really, you can't appreciate how much that changed. That looks so simple, but we're talking the difference of Muffin's hair has basically his entire health bar to work with. The old way we did that room, what health bar? You were lucky to get out of that room in the yellow sometimes.
Yes, That was single-handedly the biggest run killer. And of course, it's right at the end because we are actually approaching the final boss, the Red Grant himself yet again. So there will be one cutscene, then I will be shooting the boss, and time is gonna come when the cutscene fades in. If it goes idle, there will be 4 rocket shots and 7 sniper shots. Yeah, okay, let's go. We'll position
the sniper still has love.
Yes, the railing, this is good spot because the railing actually blocks the laser from the enemy. Okay, and we can count together if you want. Okay, 1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
time.
7 time.
GG.
And that's it.
Thank you.
GG, Muffins.
Damn.
Great run.
What was our time, I'm wondering?
Let's have a look. On our end, that's looking like a 38:02, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. That's really good for a marathon run.
That's
okay.
Very solid.
That's very solid. Damn.
I mean, hey, you gave a 45 estimate, so you've smashed that.
Yeah. Wow. I'm really surprised. I was figuring it would be like 40 something. I'm really glad about that. Okay.
Good job.
That was an amazing run. Thank you so much for having me, Muffins. I'm super happy to have been here and watched that provided commentary.
Likewise, thank you for attending. You were really helpful, and it's always lovely when there's an experienced runner, and really good guy as well, helping out. It's really lovely.
Thank you.
All right. There you can see our scoreboard. Game intends us, for example, Octopus Base. There's a target time of 30 minutes. Looks like it won't be that necessary.
Wow.
Yeah. And
it's a little faster than that.
Little. I'm not quite sure. We timed the run in RTA. I'm not exactly sure how the in-game time works, like how accurate it is, but I imagine it's not maybe the most accurate since we are using RTA for the run. Anyways. So yeah.
Interesting to consider there.
So yeah, that was
Very
007 from Russia with Love PSP version. I didn't explain during the run, but the console version, especially for myself, it's really nostalgic one. That's basically the reason I was like, one day I was remembering that, hey, this game exists. I used to play especially the multiplayer of the console version with my friends when I was way younger. And that's the way I basically found the PSP run itself. I was just looking, speedrun.com and remembered this game, and now we're here. That's our reason.
Nice. Well, if folks were interested in trying this game, would SRC, are there good resources if folks are interested? I know you've mentioned the Discord server. It's there. What would you recommend for folks?
Yeah, definitely go check out the speedrun.com page, and there's a straight link to the Discord, and I would say that's like single-handedly the best resource for the run. We are constantly rounding the game as it gets ever so lower. I would say join the Discord if you're interested.
Very much so. We're all friendly there. We'd love to help you, have you, and just teach you this game. Or you can learn other 007 games. We cover like 17 different games in the Discord, so you don't have to just do this one. But I mean, come for this one, of course.
Indeed.
Nice. And if folks just want to see more of either of you folks, where can they find you, and what do you stream? Muffins, take it away.
Yeah, I have my Twitch name is the same, and actually YouTube as well as the one on screen, MuffinsEA98, and I stream mainly speedrun content, mainly third-person shooters and horror games, depends a little bit, and of course some casual stuff as well, and every once in a while some music stuff as well, so definitely feel free to hit me up and join the stream if you feel like it would be appreciated.
And I'm Sarge, SRGT Silent, as you see on stream as well. Everywhere you can join my stream, my Discord. Just like I do a lot of things, so half of you have probably already heard of me here. But if you haven't, I mean, come hang out. Right now I'm doing mostly casual stuff, but I do speedrun a lot of games. It's hard to pin anything down. I'd say right now my biggest project is I'm working on Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. And a couple Ape Escape games. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, you can find that. Otherwise, just hang out, have fun, and enjoy.
Definitely, all the good vibes.
Awesome. Well, yeah, for sure. And in fact, actually, if you want to see the vibes of any of the other Going Places, Sarge did a run of, can you remember specifically which game it was he did on Going Places? Which Ape Escape it was?
Going Places, I did Saru Getsu Saru Daisaku Zen, which is a PSP exclusive, or PSP Japanese exclusive Ape Escape game. More or less Ape Escape 4. Very fun game. I don't know. I've also ran at Awfully Silly a couple Ape games and at Time Capsule, but this isn't the place to discuss that. But yeah, like I said, you can really find me just about anywhere. So
awesome. Well, once again, a big thank you to these two folks. Definitely worth checking them out, checking out the other 007 games. I'm sure that they are good fun as well, but that is only the start of what we have on Going Places tonight. We are going to be moving on from Russia with Love, and we are moving over to France with some Ratatouille action. So do hang tight. We're going to be having some wonderful chefery. Don't even know if that's really a word, but we're going to see what Flup can cook up in Ratatouille for the PSP. So do join us after this break, and we'll be back very shortly. Welcome back, folks. A reminder that you are watching Games Done Quick and the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is Going Places, show where we look at games that we can take on the go on handheld consoles, as well as games that we travel around the world for that we might not know locally. Long and short of it, region exclusive and handheld releases. Just a reminder that we're halfway through the show. Well, almost halfway through the show. We've already had a brilliant run of 007 from Russia with Love, but we're about to do some more traveling. We are going to be moving over to France and Ratatouille next. But before we do that, just a little reminder of what we've got going on at the moment outside of Hotfix. Registration is live for Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. So if you fancied attending in person from January the 14th to the 21st, now's the time to sign up. The second submission period is also open until November the 27th. So if you're watching this live, you've got another 3 days to whip up anything that you want to submit. It's for any games that are released after August the 1st. And you can find out more info at gamesdonequick.com, of course. But we're going to see what Floop has been whipping up with Ratatouille. We are also joined by two other pretty epic gamers. So I'm gonna hand it over to you folks. How you doing?
I'm doing good. This is one of the 10 versions of this game, actually. They like put this game on every console, I guess, for some reason. But this is my favorite version. I've been running for like a year, I guess. But I'm being joined with two commentators, with Zaya. He introduced
Hi. Oh, sorry, I'm rude.
and also Cheeky
yeah.
Junk.
Do your intro first.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm Zay. I also run the game. I actually did the first run of the game, founded the board. That took like 3.5 hours, and now it's down to less than 2. So it's come a long way, and Floop has thoroughly beaten my times in every single category. Kiki?
Hello, my name's Cheeky Chunk, and we are but 3 little chefs. And over the course of 2 hours 20, we're going to show that anyone can cook.
Oui.
Except there's no cooking in the game. It's just a platformer. But yeah.
Oh, what a shame. Well, we are ready when you are, Fix.
All right. Time starts when I press new game, so do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
All right, so I guess I'll start talking. So Ratatouille, PSP. This is entirely unique from every other console version of Ratatouille. You might be familiar with the home console versions. There's 2 separate ones of those as well, one by Asobo and one by Heavy Iron. This isn't either of those. This is an entirely unique game for the PSP, and pretty rare for a licensed game. It's not even a retelling of the movie. It's a sequel. So we're telling the story of how, Linguini, after all the stuff he did in the movie, now he's like rich and famous and, can't be bothered with this little apartment. So he's opening a new restaurant with all kinds of new recipes. But the dastardly Chef Skinner breaks into his apartment and steals all his recipes and scatters them in crazy places all over Paris. And rather than, doing a normal thing like calling the cops, we just send the rat around to get all the recipes. So that's what we're doing. We're running around and gathering recipes that Skinner stole for some reason.
Yeah, I like to think of this as Ratatouille. It's like supposed to be.
Yeah, Ratatouille with a W. Is there a W? I don't think there's a W in the first word. Is there? No.
No.
Well, there is in this game.
Is that true?
No.
What?
I can't believe you lied to me.
So the first world is apartments, and you're gonna see a bit of a theme that all the levels take place in an apartment or an apartment lobby. Ooh.
That's true. Or like an apartment fountain. Or like an apartment hallway. Or the apartment. So.
Ooh.
So if you've seen the movie, this is actually a recreation of Linguini's tiny apartment in the movie. But we're moving out because we're rich and famous now, and we don't care about this small place anymore. So next level, you'll see the big fancy place we're moving into, which you'll never see again. But it's nice.
I don't really get it. Like the old place, Cousteau's, got shut down by like health and safety, and yet somehow we got the big bucks.
We just open a series of restaurants every year, and then it gets shut for having rats cooking the food. We open a new one, just travel over the world. That's why we're renting and not buying. You see.
Yeah. Also, despite this taking place in Paris, France, there will be, I don't think, any bed bugs in this playthrough.
No.
There's a lot of bugs. I don't know about bed bugs.
No. There's a lot of bugs.
But Paris is filthy in this game.
No bug. That's not a bug there.
Yeah, your eyes deceive you. I should also mention, this is the no OOB category, as you may have seen. This game has a lot of out-of-bounds skips. Even in that first level there, if you saw where we grabbed a bolt, there's actually a clip out of bounds you can do with that bolt. Go out of bounds and run over and grab the recipe. I will try to point out where the OOBs are, where we do them in the OOB route, but this is no OOB, which is a really, really fun run in its own right, where we're going to be staying in bounds, a lot of cool platformer tricks. And I should actually start talking about the game now. But yeah, so the entire game is a platformer. Rummy's got a pretty basic but solid moveset, double jump, a tail swipe to stall midair, and a ground pound. That right there is what we call cup skip, which is very creative because that's how we skip a cup that normally we'd have to drag over into the corner to climb onto the boxes, but we can do an extended jump using the momentum off of that little swingy peg to land over there instead.
I think it saves like 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant save, mainly because Remy is really slow carrying things and it saves us having to go across the room.
Yeah. And just to like clarify that cup, you pick it up, you plunk it halfway across the room, and you jump on it. There's nothing too crazy going on. But I think that's one of the first major skips that we found, and oh man,
along with this one,
I was very excited.
Yep, and that's dumb jump. I'll let you guess why we called it dumb jump, but that also saves a little bit of time.
That's a good boy.
That's true.
That is an ugly looking dog. I'm sorry, I'm sure that's a pet
so
that somebody
mean.
loves,
He's
but-
adorable. That's so mean. He didn't do anything to you.
Nah, he did look at me a little bit funny just then. Like,
Well, yeah.
the graphics aren't doing it much justice. Maybe
It's a
I'm being a bit
PSP.
too harsh.
You're supposed to play this in like the backseat of a car on like a sunny day, like getting bounced around. You're not supposed to see any of this.
We do have our first question in the chat, and it's from Mr. Goobtastic asking, so why skip certain cheeses? Looks like you have to go back to grab it a bit ago, but had skipped. Anyone want to answer that one?
Yeah, the cheese is an optional currency that you can buy upgrades with. The chief upgrades we care about are more health and faster swimming speed, although that's not super important after the first few levels. But they are optional. They're like coins in a Mario game. We don't have to collect them, but we'll end up collecting a few and spending them on upgrades later on.
Yeah, it's a big shame because the swim speed is actually pretty cool for setting up some skips, but it only really is important for the second world, and apart from that, it's kind of like, all right. So it can feel like a bit of a waste of cheese when actually like getting a lot of health can really help like tank us or help us tank through some pretty difficult sections later on.
Right. Yeah, so the second world is sewers, which is everybody's least favorite world, or at least is my least favorite world. And after that, there is extremely little swimming. There is some that's normally in the run when you play it casually, but we actually end up skipping almost all of it in various ways. One other thing I should mention is that this game is extremely difficult for being a licensed platformer game on a portable console. It's way harder than it has any right to be. This level here, 1-3, Fountain Test, is a huge difficulty spike, as you'll see in this fountain platforming section coming up here. I don't know what they were thinking with this game. It is really fun, really great game nowadays for like adults. But like, you know, if you're like a 12-year-old trying to play this on like your field trip, you're going to have a miserable time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like for me, speedrunning, it's kind of like I've always said like it's kind of like a way for me to return to games. I couldn't beat as a kid, and now like just smash them into the ground as a big strong adult. And I remember looking at this guy and replaying it as that big strong adult. And yeah, when we get to sewers, like I was not having a good time. I was like, what has happened to this itty bitty game, and why all of a sudden is this driving me insane?
Yeah, Sewers is evil.
Yeah, for a handheld too, but there's the first recipe. So, or is it the first one? I'm trolling. I might be trolling.
No, there's a recipe at the end of every level.
Yeah, that's the first. Hello, wake up, Cheeky Chunk. I'm here.
No, that's the first one.
All right, that's the first one, right?
Don't gaslight the audience.
The other two are blanks.
Another cute thing is that the recipes you get in game actually unlock real recipes, like real written out food recipes in the extras menus of this game, which is really cute. I thought that was cute. You know, it's like the kid's never gonna cook like, you know, chicken souffle or whatever they are, but you know, it's cute. It's cute.
Do you have a favorite recipe? Question for you and for Flip.
Chicken fingers. I'm going with that. I'm basic.
Is there chicken fingers?
Are you judging me for that?
There's turtle soup for some reason.
All right, we'll get to that. No spoilers. No spoilers. There's a surprise.
Isn't there a funny chocolate one?
Yeah, there's
think
chocolate
so.
rats. I think you get for one of
Oh
them.
my
Yeah.
god, yes, chocolate rats.
Also, I see in chat there was a question about differences between consoles. This is an entirely unique game. Like, it's not by the same devs. It shares nothing in common with any of the other Ratatouille games, and that's the case for the other console games as well. It's not a port of a home console game. It's just an entirely original game that's only on the PSP.
I mean, we're all here because we're big fans of this game, and I for one love it. Like, sort of graphically, I guess. Like, I think it's so pretty for a handheld of like the time it came out. Like, I think it could really pass as like being like a PS2 game.
I was about to ask, have any of you folks tried the other games, and where does it like stack up personally?
I mean, Zaya has definitely tried the other games.
I've actually done an anthology run of literally like every major Ratatouille release.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is easily the best one for my money. The two on console games are both solid. Asobo is pretty good. Heavy Iron is pretty weird, but it's okay. The GBA version is all right, pretty solid 2D platformer. Remy jumps like a twink, but the DS version is pretty rough. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I don't know. Not to like beat a dead horse here, but like for me, you've got like the PSP and the Vita, and to me, it's like the PSP has like the hardware in between a PS1 and a PS2, and the Vita has the hardware in between like a PS2 and PS3. And I think this is like, I would think that this could be PS2 level. Like, it's really pretty. I mean, it's probably
It does, yeah.
It probably gets away with the fact it's like cartoony and maybe that sort of cell. It's not cell shaded, but that kind of like more like cartoony design probably like helps it. But nah, I love it, and I think that when the game is hard or unfair, then the music and the graphics are maybe what will keep you from fully giving up.
I should actually mention real quick, we're coming up on one of my favorite strats in the game. It's called a bat elevator. You'll see why in a little bit. Normally these bats flying around are just here to give us problems, but this little guy is going to help us if he feels like cooperating. If he feels like cooperating. If he feels like cooperating. There we go.
Wow.
So it gets a little ride up, grab the ledge, skip having to get a cup. Sadly, that's the only bat elevator in the no OOB run, but there are more elevators that we used to get out of bounds in 2.3 and 3.2 that are both really hard and currently not done in a run, but it is possible to ride one of them out of bounds and save time with it, which is very funny.
Remy's little health sprite on the top looks really funny now.
Oh yeah, the sprites in this game are adorable.
he's just smiling. He's just there.
He's happy. This game is like the most precious like art style of all time. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw the menu at the start. It's like a pretty like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like almost like minimalist like watercolor like Paris street.
He's lost 1/3 of his life force, but he's doing all right, you know.
I should also mention
smiling.
This skip that Floop is trying to do here is alarm skip. The intended casual route of this level is that we're supposed to go to the end of this hallway and climb up a ladder to set off a fire alarm, which is a major crime, and it's not the last one that Remy will commit in this run. But we're trying to skip that basically, and instead of pulling the fire alarm to open the desk here, we're just trying to jump on this flower plot. And that flower pot has a miserable ledge grab hitbox. Like, it is a tiny little spot to grab. There we go, nice job. And that trick, like, it's not hard to touch the pot. It is hard to hit where you can grab the pot because it is a very, very small part of the pot. And that is one of the more rough tricks in the game. So that was not bad at all. I've spent like hours of my life trying that miserable trick.
I mean,
anyway, sorry,
here comes the first funny fight.
Yeah, so it's a chase level. If you've played the console Ratatouille, you'll remember the levels where you're getting chased around by Skinner. This game also has those, where Skinner is chasing after us because he doesn't want us to get back the things that he stole and then scattered in weird places for some reason.
So we have 2 power-ups. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the golden sort of mushroom allows us to be invincible, so we don't take any damage.
Invincible and kills enemies on contact, yeah.
Yeah, my bad. And the chili was kind of like the more important thing is like the speed boost. So important for us to hit those chilies.
Yeah, so there's chilies in race levels, and there's chilies in one other level that they're important to hit that we'll talk about when we get there to market. It's going to be a little while yet before we get there. But, yeah.
What I like about this level is even though you're going round and around, you can see like the place getting more and more like trashed.
Yeah,
And,
Skinner is trash. Skinner is a public menace.
Yeah, and the stuff with like the washing up liquid actually like you saw like slows him down. And then to get past that, yeah, it's a little weird, but just punching sort of helps you like push through it.
Yeah, when you're stuck on sticky ground, repeatedly punching is faster than trying to walk.
Oh, very nice movement there, nice.
Yeah, these levels are tricky because you're locked to this forward-facing camera, so you have to know what's coming and time it.
And that's apartments.
Yeah, so now we're going into sewers. So this is 2-1. This is the only thankfully, the only escort mission in the game. And it's an auto-scroller. Our brother Emil has gotten lost in the sewers, and we need to go find him and get him back. Nice, nailed box jump. That jump is always scary. But we got it first try. We've got another scary skip coming up here that has several names, none of which are very good. We either call it tire skip or linguini skip, or not linguini skip, meal skip. Linguini skip is an insolable thing. But we don't actually skip either of those things in this skip. What we're going to do here is jump across a gap, tail swipe, and ground pound bounce on the very end of it, trying to grab that ledge over there. Skips a huge part of the level, like 2 or 3 minutes worth of save. Got it, first try, nice. Now we're going to try to skip hitting a button. We're going to go over here, try to jump on a very narrow little platform on the end of this wheel thing. Let's go. Okay, missed it, but we're in the water. That's unfortunate, but we can recover this. This is the old version of the skip, actually, where we come over to this tire, try to tail swipe onto it. This is rough with 0 swim speed. Nah, first try. That is extremely difficult, what Floop just did there. Nice job. Anyway, I didn't mean to completely, grab the VC there, but that was just a series of tricks I wanted to call out.
No, I mean, you're rocking it. And so is Flute. What the hell? Yeah. So, like we were saying earlier, you pick up some cheeses, and then it's used the currency, so you can increase your swim speed. And I think we have a new game plus category, right?
Yeah, there's new game plus.
So, with the swim speed, a lot of the getting up over stuff and skipping stuff is a lot easier because Remy just has more speed. So right now, our swim speed is level 0, I guess. So yeah, for them to recover like that is pretty nuts. So yeah.
That strat is awful. I've spent 7 or 8 minutes getting that sometimes. Getting it first try is incredible.
Some recent funny business with the game is that you'll see that there's human characters in these levels, and we decided in the sort of practice warm-up for this hotfix to start investigating, I guess, their hitboxes, and we found that that sort of construction or maintenance worker there, his hitbox extends all the way up to the ceiling. So yeah, a little bit funny and sort of trying to figure out why the developers would do that, but so far pretty stumped. But we will hopefully, not to spoil it, but later on we will see some funny human hitboxes helping us out with the run.
The more rat on human interaction, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is the auto scroller section. Emil is a little bit wimpy and kind of needs his handheld through all of this, so we're currently getting him through the Steam section. This is definitely one of the least fun levels in the game, I would say. You have to babysit Emil through it, and if you get too far, he just stops walking and stands in place, even if something is hitting him, which is that's not what I would do. I would try to run away, but that's just me. But thankfully, this is the only level in the game that's like this, and after this, we can get back to just good old-fashioned normal platforming where we don't have to escort around Emil.
So coming up, at least I think coming up, we're going to be seeing that the power that plastic does to turtles.
Ah, yes.
Oh my goodness. What a political statement, even from 2007, about how bad plastic is, as you can pick up the cup and drop it on the turtle, and it one-shots them.
Ooh, okay.
Savage.
We're fine.
Otherwise, how many hits would it take to kill a turtle?
Turtles are pretty tanky. It would take 2 or 3. I think it's a tail swipe and 2 punches does it.
Yeah, it's 3, I think.
Yeah, so there on the bridge, Emil has a nasty habit of pushing Remy off because he's got a pretty big hitbox and he pushes you around. And if you fall into the water here, there's absolutely zero way to recover it. You're just either you or Emil is going to die to enemies, and you have to restart this entire escort section. It's miserable. I should also mention that here in sewers, there's only one real out of bounds strat. There's 2 technically, but the other one barely saves any time. There's an out of bounds strats in 2-3, which we're in 2-1 right now, so that's 2 levels from now. But other than that, this level looks pretty much the same in OOB and no OOB, which is unfortunate because it's long and kind of a slog. Well, not a slog, but it's a lot of pretty, gray sewer-looking levels. I don't know what Skinner was doing down here, dropping recipes down here, but...
Okay, I have to. I'm very sorry, but I have to answer a question in chat because they've struck a sweet spot with me and they've asked how this compares to the escort missions on Echo the Dolphin. And I shouldn't shy away from Ratatouille too much, but yeah, it's definitely better than Echo because just as you were saying that, it reminds me because if you got damaged, you want to run away. And I'm actually kind of thankful that in Ratatouille that's not the case, and they just stay put because it would be so annoying if Emil started to run away backwards if he got hit. So
no, he shouldn't run away backwards. He should run towards Remy, like the last place he saw Remy.
No, but if you were making the game, you'd probably make if they were to run away, you'd make them run backwards, right?
If I was making the game, I'd just delete that level. But
oh well. Yeah, very good question. I like that.
Another thing in sewers, you see these frogs around. They are the devil. They attack extremely fast at range. That tongue attack of theirs is very accurate and comes out very fast. They also have a projectile for some reason. Those guys are miserable, and they're spammed everywhere on all the levels in sewers.
If you saw there that sort of thing that sort of twinkled or turned, that's like a little sort of waiter's order sheet, right? Or I guess restaurant I don't know what to call it, even though I've worked in a restaurant. But yeah, that's the checkpoints in the game. When you see one of those, make the little pretty sound. You've hit a checkpoint.
Coming up here is another pretty big skip. We call it Steam Jump. We really need more interesting strat names for this level. But we're going to jump around this little steam, hit the button for safety. Don't have to do that, but that way if we die, we don't have to go all the way back around again. But we nailed the jump there, nice. That also saves a good chunk of platforming.
Wow, really impressive.
A lot of the movement in this game doesn't look that hard if you get it first try, but it's actually very precise.
That jump, if you hit the steam, basically, it knocks you in the water. And if you don't activate the button, then you have to redo the whole jump. But I dropped the bridge, which means if I died, I could just go across the bridge.
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of bittersweet in a way because I know how rubbish these levels are, and yet Floop is just absolutely bossing them. It's really good to see. You saw last level, those sort of in and out platforms are just the worst, but yeah, making easy work of it.
Another thing I should mention about this run is that it's 2 hours long, give or take, as you see in the estimate. But that is basically 2 hours of straight platforming. There's very few cutscenes, and the ones that do exist are skippable. The load times are extremely fast. There's hardly any time where you have to sit around or auto scrollers or anything like that. So it is 2 hours of just straight platforming, like you see here. It is a very fun but very tiring run because there's just so few opportunities to take a break.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where we even could take a break.
So we use an in-game timer to time runs in this game, which is nice because it also removes loads, so we don't have to care about load differences. But that doesn't run during cutscenes, so you could actually let the cutscenes play if you want. It doesn't help so much because they're only 45 seconds long, and there's only 5 of them in the whole game, but that is an option. But other than that, there's not much.
Loop, how are you feeling about the run so far?
Lost some time on alarm skip, but pretty good so far. Not too mad.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah, doing really great. I mean, especially with the extra pressure of a showcase run and everything. This game is hard. This game is like a lot of the things that Floop is doing here, because you know they're getting it smoothly in the like first try, like doesn't look too bad, but believe me, it's bad. Like they are playing extremely well.
Stop it. Okay. I can stop it after this. It's not stream. Oh, you stopped it. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, we can still see.
Wait, where are we watching? On Twitch or?
Yeah, check your DMs.
Yeah.
Right now, just done a funny switch section, and if you liked it, then good news. There's more of these sections coming up. What do you think, Luke, about the lobsters? If you had to rate them in terms of like how annoying, what would you give them?
On this level, not bad because there's just like that one there, but you'll see later near the end of sewers, they're quite annoying. It's on 2-6, which is, I think, one of the hardest levels in the game, like second hardest maybe, and it's like quite difficult to avoid them.
Thank you for the DM. Yeah, I didn't have the link. I was confused what people were watching.
Yeah, I remember just even casually that, man, the lobsters, they suck.
Yeah, especially if you have 3 health, it's like very bad.
Yeah, really scary. Are you going to, at any point, upgrade your health?
Yeah.
Or okay. When do you think you'll be doing that?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
You said you wanted it before 4.2, right? So
Yeah.
you really should be doing it now because 2.6 is like really difficult in a mean level. But Floop always insists on doing it as late as possible for some reason.
Even though it takes us an amount of time to, well, I guess more cheese, more health bar, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
I mean, you save like one trip to the market, but I mean, you know what? Optimization, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to do it. Like, I know I can play most of the game with the health, usually. Usually, I say.
Confidence.
But
The mark of the beast, yeah. So coming up here, we're going to do a strat called an EDJ, or extended double jump, where we're going to run into a corner and basically get like a glitchy second full jump off of some of the geometry in that corner. And it's going to skip having to do like an entire lap around this level. So this is another pretty big skip. There'll be one more of these in the run later on in market.
I cannot believe it just gets that first try like it's nothing. That's bananas.
It's so many strats, even a lot of strats that I haven't had the time to explicitly call out. Like there's been so many jumps and little corner cuts and optimizations that are like look easier than they are in this run. And it is really a very technical, very fast moving run.
Scary. Like even casually, I think this is scary. Which it is just a casual room, but
it is scary.
Quite scary to like get this jump here.
Yeah, these jumps are close, especially for it being the intended route. Like you have to trust your ledge grabs on this one for sure.
Like I've definitely fallen off there a few times.
I feel like my hands are clammy for you right now. It stress me out.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many moments like this in the run, especially when we get later on in the game to rooftops. I mean, this is basically the entirety of 4.4 and 4.3. So.
now we are in the chocolate shake room.
The chocolate shake room. This is where they make chocolate shakes, I think.
Yeah. They make it underground in the sewers because it's nice and cold down here.
That's true. That's a true fact. Don't Google it.
Lovely.
Lovely, beautiful French chocolate shake.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, don't blame me. This is another section that's like, this is how you do it casually, but it's scary. Like, this game is mean, even casually. And when you add the actual, skips and everything, it's so much worse. Are you really going for that jump? You just said you're playing it safe, and then you're going for that jump. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Loop's level of safe is
Yeah. Floop will be like, oh, I'm going for safe strats this run, and then pull out like insane stuff that nobody should go for to save 2 seconds.
oh, nice. I mean, I'm a sucker for these slide sections.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The rest of the game controls really well, especially for being on a PSP. But the slide controls are less than ideal. They're a little bit clunky, and by a little bit clunky, I mean they're pretty bad.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess that's true.
There's some
but
slides that are like okay.
So another scary jump here. We're just gonna jump across this gap. Got it. Nice.
nice. I know the controls aren't the best, but for me, I guess I just like them because they're a bit of a break in terms of like. the
True.
screen.
True.
I don't-
Yeah.
I don't have to think about my forward direction. Little break.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show how relentless the run is when the slides are the relaxing part of it.
So, Floop isn't doing this for fun. You can see in the top right, do you have to kill all these spiders? And I think lore-wise, that's because we got some rats trying to travel through this area, so you have to like clear it for them. So,
Right.
some-
So you may have noticed in Apartment, we had a level where we met a little guy named Teen Rat who we had to race. In every single world in this game, there's one level that's a race level where you race against another rat who has a recipe for some reason, and instead of just giving it to you, wants to race you. And in this level, he refuses to race you unless you clear out all the spiders first. He doesn't care about every other horrible bug in this sewer for some reason. Just the little green spiders he can't stand. So we have to go through and clear them out.
And it just doesn't make any sense to me because look in the top right, look how silly they look.
I know every enemy in this game is adorable. It's offensive to me, honestly. They're adorable. I want one. I want 7.
I cannot wait till we get to the level where I think your favorite mob. In the game appears.
I'm waiting for it.
No spoilers.
We have
but
we have 2-7 coming up as well. There is an extra special surprise coming up.
a total cult hero.
Songs should be written about him.
Although I don't know if we've touched on it really, but do you guys have like a favorite world in the game?
Market.
I think the market. Yeah, I think the most common answer is market.
That's fair. And what's cool about market, I think, as well, is that not only is it seems to be people's favorites, but in terms of like out of bound versus no out of bound, it's quite like cool, different routes.
Yeah, so there's an OOB. There's 2 OOBs in market. I mean, there's 3 technically, but the OOB in 3.5 is slower than inbounds, so we don't do that anymore. But there's an out of bounds in 3.2, and there's an out of bounds in 3.6. And I'll try to point out where they are when we get there. I may not be able to, but do check out the out of bounds run for this game. If this game interests you as well, because it's wildly different than the no OOB run. Has a lot of cool tech in it. A lot of movement out of bounds and different ways of clipping out of bounds. A lot of very funny things. So yeah, that's another good watch if you happen to catch your eye on this run.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a good selling point, but Ratatouille PSP is kind of like, I don't want to say like untapped, but there's not that many runners if you go to leaderboards in terms of like full game runs. We have
It's me and Floop. That's it. Those are the full game runners.
We have we're actually not to flex by like counterpointing myself, but on speedrun.com, you have like the sort of series, and actually Ratatouille PSP is the second for most players, but majority of those players, so 12 out of 14, are just sort of IL runners. And we get it, you know, like it's a very long run. Well, depends if you ask an RPG guy. But I think to the Joe average is a pretty long run. So what we've done actually is we've sort of made like IWs or like ICs, like individual worlds, individual chapters, where rather than just doing one level, like you can run the whole, like all of apartments or all of sewers. And that's kind of a nice way just to like get you sort of like into the run. And then, oh, hey, like if you enjoyed running the first world, then maybe you enjoyed running the second one. And before you know it, maybe I'll go for a full run. So it's kind of untapped, and we really like, I mean, that's kind of why we're here, I think, is also just like to say, like, if you like the look of this game, we have a very like active Discord, and we're always looking for sort of new eyes to get some ideas about what we can do speed-wise. And yeah, just if you like it, please come check it out, because we're very welcoming, and it'll be super cool.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the sales pitch. I don't have to do it now. But yeah, I can't recommend ILs and IWs enough. I mean, we have IWs that are like 15 minutes long to like 30, 40 minutes long. They're really good length runs. They're a good way to learn the full game run if that interests you. So yeah, please do check it out. Anyway, this is 2-6. Split decision. This is one of the hardest levels in the game. I mean, look at this room. It makes me sad. And there's worse coming up. It's again, this is a licensed game aimed at children on the PlayStation Portable, and then they thought this was a reasonable platforming challenge. But it's fun for us now, so I'm not complaining.
I'm feeling just queasy looking at these jumps, but Floop, master, honestly, making it look
Truly.
like child's play.
And just a reminder, this is world 2 out of 5. We're not even halfway through the levels in this game yet, and they're already pulling this kind of stuff.
I don't know if you said, yeah, like these sort of like razor blades, they like push you off, right?
They push you off, and the really annoying thing about them is that their hitbox is a lot larger than what the model looks like. You'll see Floop jumping very early in this level, and that looks paranoid, but legitimately, if you wait too long, you're going to get pushed, even if you don't touch the model. Yeah. So that you actually have to do that.
And also, like, it puts you into a slide as well, so you just, like, totally...
Yeah, no, you just fall off.
Not good.
That's actually a good time to mention another mechanic of this game. If you've played other platformers, especially as a speedrunner, you're probably familiar with the concept of coyote time. Basically, frames where you can still enter a full jump after running off of a ledge. This game has absolutely zero. The frame that you're not on the ground, you're only getting a double jump. And Rebby's double jump is good for distance, not very good for height. So a lot of the jumps in this game, you basically have to time near frame perfect at the edge. There's actually a little tech we call it EBJ, and the extended boost jump, or is that an edge boost jump? That's it.
Yeah.
Where it seems you get like a little extra frame of movement if you jump like at the very last second before running off the ledge. There's a lot of jumps in that game that basically require that in order to get them, or at the very least make it a lot easier. So again, that just goes into a lot of the jumps you see in this run look easy because Floop is incredibly good at this game, but they're all very tricky, and there's a lot of very precise timing and aiming and movement that goes into them. And that's a Weber. They do that. Nobody likes them.
Oh, nice one. I don't know how much time it saves, but unlock.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that is another very, very scary jump. I don't even do that one in the run. That one always scares me too much.
But I mean,
that's another cool ground pound jump.
Yeah, even if done casually, like that sort of like conveyor belt section is just it's gross. It is.
It's hard, yeah.
And I kind of worry that for the folks watching at home, like you guys are gonna think that me and Zay are such like whingers, we're such like whiny people, but like, oh, the game's so hard, but we cannot get across. Like,
no, this section's really bad.
Yeah.
You guys ready for 2-7? we have a very special surprise in the next level. It is my best friend. It is all of our best friend. I will just be quiet and let you all take in the majesty for yourselves.
First thing you might notice is, well, you know, if turtles breathe through their butts, then they lay eggs out their mouths. So
That's true. That's true. That's turtle anatomy. You thought you were going to watch a rat speeder. You thought they were going to be cooking mini games. No, we're fighting a giant turtle in the sewers. I don't know what you thought you were going to get.
This is Turtzilla. And honestly,
His name is Franklin, not Turtzilla. Get it right. Get the lore right.
honestly, I think in terms of bosses, this one's probably the funnest. I don't know if I'll get much agreement out of that.
It is a giant turtle who lives in the
I
sewer.
think it's
Even if they,
probably
yeah, it can't.
Rooftops boss is
Come on.
not better than this.
That's true. And the final boss is also rough. Take one guess at who the final boss is. You're right, it is Colette. No.
Remy's evil twin.
True, yeah. What is that? I can't say Remy backwards, never mind. That's okay.
Emer.
Yeah, another thing
Emer, is that what it is?
I'm going in the corner because he physically can't reach the corner for some reason.
His poor shell is too big. He can't reach. I feel bad for Franklin, honestly. He's just hanging out here. We just like invade his home. I would do this too if I was Franklin. I mean, this is like, you know, he pulls a fire alarm, you know, he abuses this poor turtle. Later on, he's going to steal a truck. He's going to drop soap in a lasagna. Remy is a criminal.
Well, here in distance. Oh.
Yeah, this last phase here is pretty awkward because again we have very slow swimming, and as you'll notice, most of the level is water, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I can only imagine the insane speeds we'd be going in New Game Plus for that. Swim speed.
Okay, pixelated in chat. Yeah, it is a giant turtle. Like compare it. Like I know he's a rat, but like even if you had a turtle that size compared to a rat, that's a big turtle. That's like a big tortoise. He's big. I don't even know how he got down there. I don't think they had holes to the sewer that big, you know? Really makes you think.
Just one more hit. Come on, Frank.
Oh, actually, yeah. I mentioned earlier that every recipe you get at the end of levels in this game gives you like an actual recipe in the extras. This level gives you the recipe for mock turtle soup. That's what this level gives you.
We beat him, and then we eat him.
Yep. It's unfortunate. It really, you know, it just really implies that Remy's been cooking all of the enemies he's killed so far, and that's disturbing.
It's the food chain, and Remy's at the top.
Poor Franklin. Franklin did nothing wrong.
Market. Is it break time?
We're doing that aftermarket, yeah?
Okay, yeah, true.
Yeah, so we got one more world, and then we're going to take a little break. But then we'll be back to the last two worlds. Yeehaw.
This is contested to be one of the greatest worlds. Trap PSP folklore.
So this is 3-1, Rotten to the Core, one of 2 collectathon levels in the game. We have to go around and destroy all these rotten apple cores that are just laying around the market here. Because, I don't know, some guy was complaining about them for some reason. There's a lot of rats complaining about things that really don't need to be complained about in this game.
Yeah, I mean, just Remy, you know, just because he has a nice restaurant and lives with humans, all these rats think they can just like ask him for favors and favors and favors. Oh, do this, do that. It's ridiculous.
I know,
Remy's
right? Yeah.
Papa's supposed to be the head of the rat colony.
Yeah, even Django asks him to do stuff. Even Remy's dad just stands around and asks for things. It's an epidemic.
Unreal. Poor Remy. Well, no, actually, because he's making big bucks now, but you get the poor incentive. Fine.
Yeah, he's rich now.
Oh, yeah. I kind of wish with the cheeses as the currency, I kind of wish we could get costumes for Remy.
Oh God, I know.
I don't know if I've been playing too many like licensed games, but I feel like whenever there's
we needed it.
costumes, it's a big joy.
I mean, there's a cheat code in the console versions to give Remy a little chef hat, but it doesn't work. It's like you can enter it, but it doesn't do anything. They didn't give Remy a chef hat, and that makes me so sad. This is the kind of things that keep me up at night. The fact that you can't give Remy a chef's hat in the console game. That's just it's heartless.
That is sad. That is very sad.
I needed my chef hat. There's a cheat code that makes him fart every time he jumps, but there's not a cheat code.
Gosh.
It's like it hurts me.
I do have some good news though to balance out the negativity, and that's that if you enjoy this level, well, we've got a very similar one coming up. Which instead of having apples, we have another food item. So, if you like what you're seeing. Oh,
Mystery food item. We have another very special friend coming up in the next level. Another one of my best friends.
Yeah,
he's not quite as big, but his heart is bigger.
Food enjoyers in chat.
Get a load of this. Unfortunately, when you beat this level, there's no rotten apple or recipe. I feel it's a bit of an omission, but
I think it gives you like candied apples. I think actually for this level.
Yeah, but not rotten apple core. You know?
Well, you can make it rotten. Just leave it on the counter for a few weeks. Don't do that, by the way. That's not medical advice.
I did it!
Honestly, I feel like I can be kind of glad that they don't make us walk all the way back to that guy and they make us just...
Yeah, they just teleport us to the guy in the beginning who like just couldn't stand those apple cores, like ruining his view or whatever. He draws near. I'm waiting for him.
Scary skip in this level? Right?
That one's not that scary, honestly. It was scary when we first discovered it, but honestly, there's a lot scarier things in the run nowadays. But it is still a big jump that I'll point out when we get there.
So the lore here is that they snuck into this patisserie, and they've eaten so much they're all fast asleep now in a food coma. And so, like I said earlier, I'll try to point out where the out of bounds are. There's an out of bounds in this level, actually coming up here. There's a little bee you can ride as an elevator, similar to the bat elevator we did earlier. That gets you out of bounds. It's tricky because the bees only have 1 health. So if he gets out of position, there's no way to move him to where you need to go. Because we normally do that by tail swiping, but if you tail swipe the bee, he dies. So anyway, this is the tail jump that Cheeky was mentioning. It is scary. But there's a lot of big gap crossing jumps like that in the run. So, we're kind of numb to it at this point. Yeah, I should probably put a disclaimer that I have not yet done a full run. I was kind of here for the game scene, sort of like in the early days. And I was just like, I sort of like, came up with this sort of, well, oh my goodness, hello. A sentence? Just one? Here we go.
He's here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's the happy spinny lizard. He's happy and he spins. I love him. I love him. He's a green lizard. There's another one over here. And his model is so happy. He's got like a permanent smile. And he makes like the cutest little like squeaking noises when he starts to spin. Look at them. Look at them. I love them. I love them. It's against the rules to hurt them in this run. That's not true, but I wish it was. I love them. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had to say that. Go on.
No, that's good. That's probably the reset button I needed.
I'm so sorry. I just had to express my love.
Oh, and there, look. Oh my goodness, in the chat we got him. Spinny, spinny, spinny.
Let's go. That's my role model. I want a poster of that in my room.
Yeah, so I was kind of like interested in this game and sort of started doing this sort of individual world, individual chapter runs, and I'm jokingly like sort of like known in Discord as "What do you mean there's more after apartment?" Because I did apartment and I started learning sewers. And I went, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this anymore. But being a big fan of the game and followed it along. And hopefully by doing or attending this hotfix, I will get some more motivation to do some stuff. Because, yeah, the game is super cool.
Smile.
It's only getting cooler.
Okay, another pretty scary jump here. Floop thinks it's easy, but they're wrong. That little jump up to that tiny little, I don't even know what, like little post there and jump across. Saves going around again.
And this is a pretty funny level. Got some pretty funny car stuff happening.
This level, this is the race level.
Yeah, and it ends in the... Well, spoilers. Okay, yeah, never mind. So this is actually a bit of controversy within the Ratatouille PSP community. Do you want to talk about the category that you and Flip came up with?
Are you talking about all normal levels, or?
I am indeed.
Yeah, so in this run, like we said before, there's race levels. These levels where you race against a little teen rat. There's chase levels where we're being chased by Skinner. And then there's boss levels like our boy Franklin and some others you've seen. They're generally considered to be the least interesting parts of the run. The race levels are generally pretty straightforward. This level is literally just do it twice. And the chase levels and boss levels are similar. So we made a new category that's called all normal levels. That is basically just a New Game Plus run where it's every level in the game except those 3 types of levels. So it's basically every level that isn't a race chaser boss level. And that cuts like 20-25 minutes out of the runtime, maybe a little bit more. And so it's like an hour 20 run, hour 25, and you get all the best levels and hits in. So that's another good option to kind of practice full game runs if you don't want to commit to the full 2 hours. Fun category.
I mean, I definitely see the pros to it, but personally, I love the race levels, man. So hard to think about doing them without it.
On your mark.
Well, that's what 90% is for. It's not the main category. It's just the category for people like me who don't want to do the races.
We're very accommodating.
Truly.
Yeah, what do you think about
All non-normal levels, yeah.
All
mean,
levels?
I mean, if people want to run it, we'll add it. I don't think me or Fluke are interested in doing that. But if there's someone out there that your life's calling is to run that, we will add it.
I mean, a New Game Plus is crazy to me because it's under an hour. I struggle to believe.
Did we get, is OLB all normal levels under an hour? Because the regular, for this game you mean, or?
For New Game Plus, sorry.
I don't think it is. Has there been a full game New Game Plus run?
Star Key Rush is fast.
Oh, Star Key Rush, yeah. So that's the level, that's the level where you get all the collectibles, the Star Keys, in every level, and that's under an hour as well. But that's not, so those are like the extra 100% collectibles. You might see the little keys laying around with a star on them, hence why they're called Star Keys. That is under an hour, but the full game New Game Plus run is not, I don't think. It's pretty close to any percent because the upgrades, the only ones that make a huge difference to speed are swim speed and the health upgrades, and even then those are just a nice thing to have.
Looking good. Newman.
So coming up after this level, we have a run of 3 levels, which for me personally are my favorite 3 levels in the game. We start with 3-4, where the dog that was rudely insulted in the beginning of the stream comes back, and we've got to get around him to collect a recipe, and then we'll get there to the rest of them.
I'm glad. I thought it was going to do the funny at the end of the race. At the end of the race,
So, yeah, good.
there is sort of like the finish line, but there's like this weird sort of invisible wall to the left of it, and you can actually like jump around to the left of the finish line to skip the thing and just to grab the recipe, but it's like very risky and not worth it. but yeah.
Yeah, it is very scary because if you miss it, you fall off and have to do the entire thing over again. And if you make it, it saves like the little winning cutscene. It saves like 3 seconds. It is the risk to worth it
Yeah,
ratio is extremely low.
So this level, I hate this level. It's tricky. It's like some of the
Aw.
hardest jumps.
Yeah, this jump is hard. This jump is very tight, and you need an edge boost there, which we were like 1 frame late on the jump there, and that's what I said. No coyote time. Unfortunately, it will eat your jump like that.
Laugh it up.
But yeah, this jump here is very tricky. It saves a lot, so it's worth it. We're basically skipping the entire platforming in this game, but it is very tight. You need a very good angle and very good timing. Got it. Nice.
Oh, that's smart.
All right, here, you'll notice the gimmick of this level is that we push dog treats onto the ground to distract the dog, because otherwise he would just eat us if we land on the ground. And as it turns out, we can actually skip this room entirely if we run really fast. So we actually just skip an entire room of the level. I think we'll make it. Yeah, we made it. Nice job. Skip that room entirely. Then here's another skip here, conveyor skip. This is also tricky. See if you can get it. Nice, got it. That is a very tricky jump to get there. Oh, almost.
Yeah.
This jump is miserable. The geometry on that conveyor that we're jumping to is very tricky to jump on. Remy likes to slide on most of it, so you have to kind of spam jump and hope you get it.
And any sort of
tries at
idea of how much this saves?
Yeah, I would 20, 25 seconds, probably more than that. There's an awful bug wall at the end that we're skipping. That's a lot of very slow climbing with a lot of bugs that want to kill you. So, I mean, like with an ideal run, probably 20, 25. In actuality, probably closer to 30, 35, I would guess. Nice, got it. Yeah, this level is one pretty mean trick after another.
I think that's sort of like fail sort of music, and Remy going, "Oh no," is like sort of a PTSD for rat PSP runners. Just hearing that is so
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
so annoying.
They didn't make a movie of this game. This game is a sequel to the movie. If you weren't here at the start, I mentioned it, but this game is not a retelling of the events of the movie. It's an entirely new story that's a sequel to the movie, and they need to make it an actual movie. Tell you the truth, it wouldn't be a very good movie, but I still want it to exist just out of principle. Yes, the dog does slide along the ground. Yeah, he doesn't walk. They just slide the dog where he needs to go.
Slide.
He's on Heelys, yeah.
Did it.
Okay, this is Lea's favorite level.
It is my favorite level, thank you. 3-5. We're about to steal a truck. Remy's about to commit Grand Theft Auto. Okay, well, not about to, but at the end of this level, we're going to steal a truck. And it's just another item on Remy's very long rap sheet.
Nice. I love these big fluorescent lights. Just
Truly.
in the dumpster.
Just sitting upright, perfectly undisturbed, too.
Yeah.
Alright, so coming up is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can't wait for them to crack and release the funny gas, but yeah, big skip coming up.
Big skip, yes. Box jump. One of the less fun skips in the game. I actually like it, but I am aware that I am in the minority of that opinion. These boxes rotate, they slide like this. We're gonna gently push it down and then go to the top and jump up. Very close, very close. This skip is awful. This is another skip that probably looks easier than it is, because if the box gets too high, Remy just slides and you just fall off entirely. Like you saw there, it probably looks like Floop should have just jumped, but you can't if it's too steep. Like Floop is not able to jump right there. So it's very tricky to get the right angle on the box, so you can actually jump up.
Come on, Floop, you can do it.
We got it, we got it. That looks good.
Slightly safer.
That's fair.
Wow. Go off, go off.
Oh, come on, come on. Yeah, it's very hard to save this when it gets too steep. Nice. Oh, that's really hard to get that jump there. Yeah, so just to answer some questions in chat, I'm saying this is an entirely original game. It's only on the PSP. Entirely different devs, nothing in common with the any of the home console versions. It's not a port. It's a new game. It's pretty new, good new game if you ask me.
Once again, we're doing one of the funny diagonal box jumps. It's kind of crazy because
EDJ
making it look easy, but these.
Yeah, this one is a pretty tight angle. Nice, got it.
Maybe this was what I was thinking about with these scary hill jump. My level's a bit upside down.
Yeah, this version is pretty obscure compared to most of the other. I mean, the Asobo version, so PS2, original Xbox, GameCube, Wii, PC, is like by far the most popular version, and I think like, you know, half of the people on the planet grew up with that one, as did I. But the PSP version is a very, very hidden gem, and I love it to bits. And I'm so happy that we got such a talented runner to show it off. So yeah, thanks, Floop, and thank you for having us. What?
It's I don't know if I'm a bit crazy when I say this, but with certain games, I feel like as a little kid, like I just sort of like would fall asleep with them on, and sort of like I know like Finding Nemo, sort of GPA and Ratatouille PSP, like those sort of main menu like soundtracks are so like peaceful or just sort of like relaxing and calming and a happy place for me to be. So yeah, really good positive connections to this game. A lot of love for it. And yeah, it ain't half bad. Especially for a handheld, like I can't sort of get at that
I mean, for being designed for a PSP, you know, with all its limitations, like, you know, it doesn't have a right stick, you know, the thumbstick is a little thing, you know, it's a, you know, portable console that is not very powerful. Like with all of those limitations, it controls really well. It looks really good. The levels are really well made. So this game is shoulder camera controls where you use the shoulder buttons to move the camera left and right. And at least for my money, it's one of my favorite cameras in any game ever. Like it works really well, even in places like these tight hallways that you don't think it would. It follows really well. You have really good control over it. You know, if you hit both of them at the same time, it resets behind you, which Floop has been using a lot in this run. So it is a really, really, really well made game. Way better than it has any right to be for being, you know, a pretty obscure portable version of a licensed video game in the mid 2000s. But it is just really, really well made, basically from top to bottom, and I really enjoy it for that.
Well, here is a level with a lot going for it. We are returning to the Rotten Apple Core format, and this time we are collecting mushrooms. Not because someone's complaining about the smell. Of course, mushrooms are delicious. But we are going to use them. He is putting 30 mushrooms in his non-existent pockets. And he is going to take them to tip the scale in his favor.
Literally.
Also,
You'll see later.
Yeah. Also, sort of funny human interaction, but we'll
get there when we get there. Yeah.
I'm super excited though.
Trying to think if there's any especially funny moments after that. We did the lizard. We did Franklin. Are there any others? Probably. I'll have to think about it. Oh, there's the lasagna. I can't forget the lasagna. We'll get there. Love me some food poisoning.
No, I'm excited for lasagna. I'm excited for the Garfield cameo.
The Garfield actually shows up and helps Linguini find a recipe. That's true.
And then takes him to a TV and plays the trailer for A Tale of Two Kitties.
True. My favorite game. But anyway, yeah, so this is, like Cheeky said, one of 2 collectathons. So you actually, you know, have to go around and collect the mushrooms in this run. And this level has been rerouted about 15 times. There's been a lot of comparison of routes and a lot of different ways to collect the things in here, but this is the current route we're on where this is the fastest way to collect them. We can actually skip all of this in the OOB run because we can just go out of bounds and the recipe is loaded in from the start. So we just clip out of bounds with a cup and run over, grab the recipe. It takes like a minute to do. Without going out of bounds, it's closer to 4 or 5 minutes. So this is another level that has a pretty big difference between OOB and no OOB. And I did say it earlier, but I'll say it again in case people have joined since. This is the no OOB category where we're not going out of bounds, but this game does have a lot of out of bounds strats, and there's a separate OOB any percent category that's also a lot of its fun in its own right. And I highly encourage you to check it out if you're interested in the game and you want to see more of it. Check out the out of bounds skips in this game because they're really cool. A lot of cool tech, a lot of cool movement, a lot of cool clips we use to get out of bounds. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a really important distinction to make. It's just that when it comes to sort of like thinking about speedrunning with this game, like whether or not we can do it out of bounds doesn't. So you can do it out of bounds just to skip a portion of the level, but I think a really big important factor is the recipe loaded in from like, or sort of when is the recipe loaded in? Like, is it loaded in from the start? Like, what kind of flags do we have to raise in order to get the recipe to spawn in? And then once we have that, we can start to lab a little.
Right. So there's a lot of levels where we can get out of bounds, but it's either not useful or, as far as we know, the recipe isn't even loaded in. There are a few out of bounds that don't actually collect the recipe. We go out of bounds, hit a checkpoint farther in the level, and then die on purpose. And that also works as a skip. Okay, coming up here, 2 very fast strats all in a row. Number 1, a very, very scary jump here that skips in basically the entire platforming in this section, which is pretty long. This is one of my least favorite jumps in the game. It's really tight. I think we got it here. Nice. That is hard. And then we're going to jump on this poor lady's head, and she doesn't notice. Nice. Let's go.
Yeah, done market, so we could take a break here.
3-7 though. 3-7.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah, there's a chase level we have to do first.
It's like such a non-level that I forgot about it.
True.
I was literally getting up to go to the bathroom. 3-7. Oh,
I'm the only person that remembers there's a 7th level in market.
Dude.
That's why we pay you by the minute, so.
She works retail. She's used to everything happening to her, and I'm sure a rat falling on her head happens weekly.
So once again, Skinner, in his fullest of forms, absolutely terrifying us. And I'm all here for it. I love the chase levels. There's something about being chased by a guy who's, I think, in the game, literally like 3'5".
Oh yeah, he's tiny. Yeah. So this level is actually really scary because there's a lot of golden mushrooms around, and there's a lot of spinny lizards. And if you're not careful, you might accidentally kill a spinny lizard, and that is a horrible sin.
The crime, actually.
It's. I wanted to ban runs that did that. Everybody else said no, that's stupid. Don't do that. But you know what? It just matters to me a lot.
That's exactly what I was going to raise. It took a lot of time, a lot of patience to Isaiah off this ruling.
Yeah, they held an intervention. It was ugly.
We're better for it, aren't we?
I'm not better for it. I don't want him to die.
No, but I mean, you have the coping mechanisms and tools to deal with that.
I don't. I'm just bottling all of it.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys have a favorite chase level?
3-7, just because all the lizards. 1-6 is kind of forgettable, and 5-6 is actually pretty hard. But we'll get there when we get there.
Okay, now we can take the break.
Now it's break time, yeah.
Thank you for reminding me.
Awesome. Well, that's a brilliant start to the run. Definitely been enjoying it. And a lot of love in the chat, which is always nice to see. But folks, we usually around these points, especially in the longer runs, we just have a little chance to take a break, get up and have a stretch if you haven't recently, if you have the capacity to do so. Make sure you're staying hydrated, all of the above, just taking care of yourselves. And we'll be back after a little break to bring you the rest of this Ratatouille run. So do stick around. this isn't the only thing this isn't the only hotfix that's happening tonight as well. If you stick around, you'll get some grudge match as well as some parallel universe, I believe. So yeah, do stick around. We'll be back in a sec to finish off Ratatouille. Welcome back, folks. We are already halfway through this brilliant run of Ratatouille. Just a reminder, if you're joining us after the break, this is the Games Done Quick Hotfix, and this is Going Places, the speedrun travel show. We have a look at games that we can take on the go as we're traveling, or the games that we have to travel distant lands for that, you know, we might not know locally to us. So region exclusive games. Just a reminder of what's happening around the channel. The Frame for Towels has its next event coming up real soon. Well, real soon. It's March, but you know, it feels like it's just around the corner. You can use !FF in the Twitch chat, or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefortowels for more info on it. And hey, if you're watching us on Twitch now, you can catch any of the previous hotfixes, or you know, the stuff that's happened earlier on in this show on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. But whilst we've been talking about other hotfixes, just a reminder, this isn't the only show that we have on tonight. We are going to be having Grudge Match after this. Games that we're going to see there are Beton Brutal, or Beton Brutal. Don't really know how to say that, but there's that, as well as Rystar for the Sega Genesis, which will be, I mean, that game's a banger. It's going to be good. And then we also have Parallel Universe afterwards. That's going to be showing off Waveland. It's going to be a Waveland showcase, as well as some Bomb Rush Cyberpunk with a particular birthday. Somebody doing some speedrunning on their birthday, so you better be around for that. But in the meantime, we're finishing off Ratatouille. I'm gonna throw it over to the gamers once again, and yeah, let's close this off.
All right.
Oh, chef hat on, cheese smelled. Yep, it's gaming time.
It's gaming time.
See, it is 400. I knew it.
It is 400?
Yeah.
Oh, did someone tell you to get the health now? Couldn't have been me.
You would never.
Yeah, I would never tell you on break to buy health there. That's not a thing I would do. I thought it was 300. Wow. Oh, there goes all my credibility.
So this is rooftops on top of the roof.
Yep. After climbing out of the sewers and up through the market, we're now stuck on the rooftops of Paris. Skinner risked his life to leave recipes scattered around. I really don't know why, but it's simply don't worry about it.
I think he's kind of like Eggman, where it doesn't look like it from his physique, but actually he moves like lightning.
He moves like a crab. He moves back and forth really fast. Okay, so coming up here, actually I lied. When I said there's only 2 EDJs in the run, there's actually 3. We're going to do one on this pipe here to grab it without having to get the cup, which saves a lot of time. This is one of the more awkward ones in the game. It's probably the most awkward one in the game, actually, because it's very precise angle to get that second double jump off of. It's, again, another trick that, if you get it first try, it looks easy. There we go, nice job. Wow. That is another one that is very, very finicky and difficult to get. Okay, are we going flying? We are, so we're going to jump all the way over to this corner here. Let's go. So this is 4-1, the key to success. This is the longest level in the game. It's 6 or 7 minutes long. Casually, it's extremely long and difficult. Basically, the plot is that our brother went and got himself caught, and we have to go all the way across the rooftops to get the key, and then all the way back to him to free him from the cage. And that's what we have to do in this level. So it is very, very long. There is an out of bounds in this level that we knew was possible for the longest time. It was actually one of the first out of bounds we found in the game. But we had absolutely no idea how to make it consistent. The clip out of bounds was miserable. Nobody had a good setup for it. And then Floop found a setup for it finally. It's still pretty rough. It's still pretty hard to do. It's one of the hardest OOBs in the game. But it's also probably the one that saves the most time. It's probably 3 or 4 minutes of time save if done well. So that's another thing that's pretty new to the Out of Bounds run that's been found in this game. And once again, check out the Out of Bounds run if you're interested in this game. No Out of Bounds and Out of Bounds have a pretty different set of tricks in certain levels between them. They're both really fun, exciting runs. And yeah, this is one of the levels where it is difficult and flashy no matter how you do it. But we're doing it inbound, so we're going to go through the whole level. A lot of skips and such.
I think I don't know if this is my only bloody talking point, but again, visually, like I think Rooftop's probably the prettiest world to me. Like I really like how many sort of different environments they show off. I mean, just like in the stage alone, like I feel like there's so much going on, and yeah, big love.
Yeah, it's Rooftops is especially later on. Some of the levels we'll get to 4.3 and 4.4 are very pretty and very memorable. But we got to get through these first two levels here, which are still pretty, but I have negative associations with them for how long and difficult they are.
Yeah, so you gotta find some positives for them somehow. I like these very nationalistic, French-loving curtains we got going on. Well, not curtains, but I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, this game isn't French. I mean, this game is very French, but you know,
this game isn't French.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's because it's a sequel. There's no like. I mean, if you talk to Gusteau, you know, he's very French. So actually, I think I should mention that I haven't yet. You've probably seen Gusteau popping up constantly. You can talk to him. He's like your imagination again. If you've seen the movie, you know he's like a figment of Remy's imagination. In the first few worlds, he's actually useful. He'll give you some advice. You know, he'll be like, "Oh, see what that button over there does," or try double jumping here. But this far into the game, all he does is like, "Oh, Remy, this looks scary," and he's like, just a complete waste of time to talk to, but he is there, you know.
Yeah, you go to him for a hint, and he goes, "What are you doing standing around?"
Yeah, that's what he does. Like he just like after sewers, like the trade. I mean, even in sewers, like in some of the levels in sewers, he's like, "This looks scary." It's like, thanks for the wonderful advice, Gusteau. You're really helpful.
It's kind of like on my mind now that there's a severe lack of cooking in the PSP version.
True.
What do you think has the most cooking going on in the Ratatouille game series?
Which one has the most cooking? I'm gonna go with. So.
You know which one.
The Asobo. It's probably Asobo, isn't it? Is it Asobo? I don't know. I mean, they all accept PSP first to cook.
I was thinking
a Food Frenzy doesn't count. There's not a game called Ratatouille Food Frenzy. People will tell you there's a DS game called Ratatouille Food Frenzy. Those people are lying to you. It's a conspiracy. Don't look it up. Don't play it. Please don't play it. Don't look it up. Don't play it. It doesn't exist.
It's a game.
It's not a game.
It's something.
It doesn't exist.
So
outside of
is Asobo.
I think it's Asobo, yeah. And then, if there was a second DS game called Food Frenzy, it would be that. But there isn't, so it's not that.
And thank God there isn't, honestly. I can only imagine.
The world is a better place because Ratatouille Food Frenzy doesn't exist.
Floop, I hope it doesn't take too much time, but maybe next time you could talk to Gusteau. Why don't you do it for us? Just so we can get a glimpse at the insane hint we could get from listening to him.
Yeah, Heavy Iron has a lot of cooking. I don't remember. I know they force you to cook in like Little Chef Big Kitchen and Deserted Kitchen, but I don't remember what else. I know the Dream Worlds are a lot of cooking. Anyway. Point is, this game has no cooking, except for the recipes at the end. And we've joked that there should be like an IRL category where you cook the recipes. No. Yeah. That's kind of useful in a not really all that useful kind of way.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, when you finish Razgul's there, you're becoming a full-time Ratatouille PSP recipe.
Oh
stream.
yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm just gonna crib all the recipes in this game and like try to make it as like a cooking influencer or whatever you Zoomers call it.
I can't wait.
Okay, I see in chat that someone's claiming that Ratatouille Food Frenzy is a thing, and once again, just a reminder that there's
It's
no such
not
thing
real.
called Ratatouille Food Frenzy. It's not real.
I can't believe chat would gaslight us like this.
No, it's. I don't think it's gaslighting. I think it's just Nelson Mandela effect. You know.
It's misinformation, you know? Like, I think somebody at some point, like, edited a Wikipedia article, and now everybody thinks there's, like, some game called Ratatouille Food Frenzy. I don't get it.
I think Food Frenzy is the hero brine of the Ratatouille world. A lot of apparent sightings, but nothing concrete.
Yeah, it's all I
hearsay.
could find is, yeah, like a pixelated, like, 2006 YouTube video that's just like a Windows Movie Maker slideshow. It's not real,
Like,
people.
No one actually owns a physical copy. It's not real.
No, it's all faked. All faked. Photoshopped.
I'm thinking more and more about that just doing recipes and oh no, babe. Quick, come in quick. Oh my god, what's wrong? My PSP ran out of battery. I don't know what to do next.
Yeah. I mean, the recipes are funny because like half of them are like, you know, cheesy breadsticks, and it's literally just like put some like cheese on a bread and toast it, and then the other half are like actually trying to be like serious fancy food where it's like, you know, oh, like reduce the chicken and wine marsala with a, you know, side of mushroom vinaigrette or whatever, and it's just like it's just like such a weird grab bag where it's like half like kind of serious recipes and half like kid food projects.
Yeah, I feel they really should have like categorized the recipes a bit. You know, like easy, medium, hards, easy, medium,
Right,
and
yeah.
adult.
Well, I mean, you know, they give you a recipe for Ratatouille for 100%ing the game. And it's, you know, it's like, I bet there were so many kids out there that were like so excited to make it. It's like, I'm going to eat the food from the movie. And then they get it and it's just like a flavorless vegetable stew. You know, this movie is like just scarred a generation of children for making them think that Ratatouille is a particularly flavorful food. I know, right? Like it. I don't know. It's just false advertising. I'm suing the nation. That's true. I mean, Skinner in the movie says it sounds like rat and patootie, so you know what that means. No, Linguini says that. I lied. Me when I lie. Anyway, 4-3. Should probably talk about the game. 4-3. Ring My Bell. Takes place in a bell tower at night. Very pretty. Very long. And we'll see later. One of the new enemies introduced in Rooftops is crows that will land on wires you're walking along, wires and posts you're walking along.
It really like
They are very annoying to deal with. We'll see a little bit later on. Yeah, they're mean. I don't like them. I miss the lizards. Sorry? Oh, yeah, that's actually intentional. Sorry, I'm on a delay. Yeah, I probably should. Oh, I think no, I'm still on a delay. You know what? It's fine. I'm sorry that I'm like 10 seconds behind, but just move my audio 10 seconds into the future in your brain, and it'll be fine.
I'll tell you what. I'll help you out. I'll react slower. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to start reacting quicker.
Well, that's just gonna confuse me. That's unhelpful.
Hey, how delayed are you? Have that you need to speed up?
Well, so if I say, if I say that a strat is about to come up, it may have already happened. So just
No, it's okay.
it'll be fine. Anyway, this jump that Floop is now going for in my screen, jumping across to that ledge over there after the chain, is another very annoying, very precise jump. It's a theme in this game. There's a lot of jumps that look easy if you get them the first try, but are really very dependent on timing and angle, and This is one of those games where holding the jump button increases your jump, so you have to do that as well.
Analog buttons. Yep. I was just gonna say, I mean, you kind of see it just visually. Well, I mean, that's the only way you see stuff. But there's a lot of mobs on these levels, and so like if you think like, oh, for the speedrunner it takes like, you know, about 2 hours to beat the game. Imagine if you're little Timmy, and imagine seeing all these monsters. You want to kill every single one. Like the people behind this game, they definitely made sure you got your money's worth when you got Ratatouille PSP. My goodness.
So yeah, so this game was made by Locomotive Software, I think they're called. I don't know, Locomotive Games, I think actually.
Locomotive Games. I think.
They made three video games in their lifetime. They made the PSP version of Cars, which is a pretty good racing game. They made the PSP version of Ratatouille, which you're watching now. And then they made Destroy All Humans Big Willie Unleashed for the Nintendo Wii. And then they went out of business. That's their discography.
Man, and we are so grateful for it, honestly.
Truly. They're such a good, like all three of their games are actually really well made. Like, especially, you know, it's two PSP games and a Wii game. So they were working with a lot of hardware limitations, and they did a really good job with all of them. It's really a shame that they didn't make more games, because like there would have been so many like licensed games out there that would have been better if Locomotive got to do them instead of, you know, other developers that won't be named.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I think, especially being in, well, I don't know, but I think, yeah, being in the licensed game space with the crazy deadlines you have to meet, and the fact that Locomotive, wow, we're really singing their praises, but it's legit. Like, of those free games, like, there's a lot of love. I know Zay for sure, like, has a lot of love for Destroy All Humans, Big Willie Unleashed.
I do. That's another game I've been subjected to running, and I've been meaning to run Cars PSP, but I haven't yet. But yeah, one day.
I mean, honestly,
anyway, I'm gonna assume that we're entering 4-4 right about now. Rat ran up the clock. It happens in a clock tower. It's long and it's difficult. There's going to be a lot of nasty platforming challenges coming up, so look forward to that. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I mean, I don't know if it's weird to say, but I'm really grateful for, like, going places. Like, I think that sort of handheld speedruns are kind of, like, sort of maybe not underappreciated, but kind of. And, yeah, I think that, especially in the speedrun scene, like, we need more people, like, looking at handheld runs, because there's some real gems, and here is one of them. So, yeah.
There are so many, like, games on, like, GBA and DS and PSP that are really good that don't get a lot of attention because people assume that, you know, most games on that system are bad, which is kind of true in a way, but there's so much, so many gems on portable consoles. Like, I can't recommend them enough.
Shout outs to you lot that you know, run them and just give them some time of day, because yeah, I know it's very much an accessibility thing quite often, and like the availability of some of the games, because like apart from, you know, Nintendo and getting some of the stuff on Switch Online, like a lot of the games don't really see the light of day again. So yeah, I mean, it's you folks who put in the work and keep the runs exciting, which yeah, makes this show so fun.
Slay. Again, we're in a section that's honestly, I'm feeling so anxious for Floop here, but we're bossing it.
So on my screen, that jump we just did off the pole, another very tricky jump, but basically all of these are. I mean, I don't even have time to call all of the, like, very precise strats out Floop is doing. I mean, it's like, especially if you've played this game, yeah, things that look hard are actually even harder than that. It is a crazy amount of precision here. And, you know, like I said at the beginning, this game has basically no breaks. There's hardly any cutscenes. Loading times are fast. There's, basically there's like one level that might be considered an auto scroller, and everything else is just go, 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 go. It's only 2 hours, but it is basically 2 full hours of running. There is very little time to catch your breath. It is a very, very fast-paced, fun, but also tiring run. And I'm also learning tiring to commentate on, because there's like no cutscenes and stuff where we can catch our breath.
Yeah. If you finish a run of this game, you're going to have really buff fingers by the end. I get a pump on.
Well, I imagine if you're running on UMD, maybe you'd get a little bit more breathing space, but
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are longer loads, but I don't think they're even so. I don't think they're like super long. Like I don't think you're gonna get like minutes of break out of that. I mean, I know we were
running on UMD though.
Yeah, well,
I can't
your
comment because
PSP just hissing on you the whole time.
Yeah, I run Ratatouille on memory stick, but I definitely have run stuff on UMD.
Wow.
Well, it's kind of weird because I feel, and I don't know, I feel like a lot of people with their older consoles, they'll sort of, mod them to preserve their consoles a bit. But luckily for me, with my PSP, little like itty bitty cheeky chunk actually made some pretty good purchases. So I don't have to go hunting from them now because they're already like on my PSN account, or I got them downloaded. So yeah, Ratatouille PSP is one of them. So thank you, past cheeky chunk, for that. Also, we kind of skipped over it, but yeah, Flip, very nice save earlier with the swinging bar. Hell yeah.
Sorry, I've been just trying to get my stream back up to sync. I think I'm still a little bit behind on my screen. Fluke just entered another level. I'm not sure where everybody else is, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. Like
we'll keep it moving.
We're with the girders. Fluke doing a funny tactical.
Okay, you're close enough. We'll count it.
You show
that one was not tactical. We can call it tactical. We're showing what the death plane in this level looks like.
Yeah, it's
a showcase. Yeah.
Show what not to do. You gotta show the game off.
Yeah, it's just in case you're curious what it looks like to die there. There you go. Oh, again, just in case you missed it. New viewers coming in.
But for a try, that's it. No more.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Do you want to explain that one a bit? Say like the time save there.
Yeah, so that saves having to. You see those girders in the middle that are rotating? You have to jump on those and ride those around. If you don't do that, that's a pretty meaty time save. But it is a really, really annoying jump because you can't line it up. You have to like jump off the edge and then spin around like you saw. And ledge grabs in this game are dependent on the angle that Remy is facing. So even if you hit where you can grab a ledge, if you're not facing towards it, you're not going to grab it. So not only do you have to hit the ledge spot on the other end, you have to jump and turn so that you're facing it and ledge grab it. And that's tricky because turning also, makes you lose distance in that direction. So it's a very tricky balance between getting far enough to actually hit the ledge grab and also grabbing it. And yes, that death was tactical.
I know that we're pretty far into the run, but one thing that gives me the heebie-jeebies is just the fact that you kill a mob and it drops cheese.
Yeah, well, it's Paris, that's the main food group, I'm pretty sure.
Do you think that, like their diet is just totally cheese? Or do you think that the mobs are actually just like cheese wearing a disguise? Pretending to be a spider or a lobster.
I think the cheese is the ultimate villain in the game. I like that headcanon. I think Ratatouille PSP 2 will have us face the evil Dr. Chizo in his lair, controlling all of these rodents that live in Paris. I think that's real.
Yeah. It's just all goes together with that whole eat 'em and eat 'em.
Exactly. I mean, one of Remy's voice lines when he picks up the cheese is it's like, oh, this is fresh, or surprisingly fresh. And it's like, he says that when he picks it up after killing, like a spider or something. So that's, it makes you think.
I haven't looked at cheese the same since playing this game.
Oh no, I can't eat cheese anymore. It reminds me of lizard murder.
Oh, nice steam dodge. Very nice.
Also, I'm lactose intolerant, but it's mainly the lizard murder thing.
Lactose intolerant. 2023. Come on. Tolerate it.
I wish. You do not know how much I wish I could.
Really nice rat race. Oh yeah. Oh, Floop, did you remember to talk to Gusteau when we get the chance?
I did already.
We did, yeah. He was like, oh, remember Steam burdens you, which is one of the more useful things he says in these later levels.
True.
Oh, this slide's bad.
Yeah, the slide is bad.
Oh.
Okay, so coming up, we're going to do balloon jump or lamp jump. Probably lamp jump is what we call it, which is one of the hardest jumps in this game. Skips a lot. It is extremely precise. We're going to basically jump from a ledge in an apartment to a lamp. Yeah, see, not useful. World building, I guess. I couldn't have figured that out if he didn't tell me it was a party. But yeah, coming up. I'll call it when I see it, but just be on the lookout for coming to a ledge in like an apartment and jumping across to a lamp. If Floop gets it, they will be able to ground pound and jump up from that, but it is very, very tricky, so we'll see. No spoilers, don't react until I see it. No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, it wasn't that, but something else scary.
Oh, the bar there, yeah.
Yeah.
Lactose intolerant people can eat cheese aged more than 6 months. Yeah, I didn't know that. Gonna have to Google that.
It was a while ago, but yeah, I saw a chat talking about how this sort of looks like. Oh, unlucky. I mean, not happened yet.
Oh, so lamp jump happening on my screen. I'm guessing close though, close. Yeah, I don't know why I'm lagging, but we're just gonna roll with it because it's gonna take me longer to try to fix it than watching the run. So it's fine.
I was just gonna say that someone in chat was talking about how this kind of looks like a Toy Story game, and I'm a big fan of these kind of games. Like sort of like we're miniaturized down, and it's just like a mundane level. Well, at least sort of like a regular normal level, like everyday sort of level, and yet in this sort of like tiny miniaturized environment, like it's a big old playground that's a lot of fun. I'm a really big sucker for these kind of games.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just a reminder, this is a PSP game and not a powerful console, and they make it look really, really good. If you, going out of bounds and looking at these levels, like the amount of optimization they do with loading and unloading certain parts of the level and the way they kind of hide loading transitions with these vent sections, this game is extremely well made. For the console it's running on, and for no doubt the very tight deadlines they had, it is incredible what they managed to do with it.
Well, how we feeling?
It's good.
We take those. This should be a sub 2 IGT, which is really, really, really good. An insanely good time for a one-off showcase run. Especially since we stopped to talk to Gusteau for some reason. And I haven't really been calling it out, but I mentioned earlier, Rooftop has a ton of OOBs that we didn't do there. 4.1 has one, 4.3, 4.4, 4.6. All of them have very long OOBs that skip most of the level, except for 4.3. But check out Rooftop's OOB if you're interested. There's a lot of cool out of bounds tech in this game. Okay, there's my half-hourly plug for out of bounds.
Gotta hit the quota.
Gotta hit the quota.
You've done those like individual world runs, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've done all the ILs. So.
Okay. Yeah, but for the out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the rooftops, sort of in the out of bound field. It's just very cool stuff. So if you want to watch those in little like short bits without having to watch the whole run, yeah, the ILs are there. They're pretty cool. And then you watch them, you come in the Discord, you say, hey, I want to run this. And we say, welcome on in. And we throw you your little chef hat.
That's true. You'd definitely get a free chef hat if you join. That's not true. I'll send you a JPEG of a chef's hat. I can do that.
Yeah, chef hat NFT.
Yeah.
With
Oh, that's true.
photos.
Yeah. No screenshots. Alrighty, last world, kitchen. Let's go. This level's special to me because we get to see Skinner taking a shower, which is, you know what? I don't want to see that. Never mind. But you're going to anyway.
Freudian slip.
No, he is taking a shower. I mean,
know,
you don't see it, but
Slip about you not wanting to actually admit
I'm just denying my feelings. I want to see it. But
you're a winner
so-
for Skinner.
True. There's also a rubber ducky that's wearing like a beret and has like a mustache and like very stereotypical like French glasses, which I think is adorable. I don't know if we've gotten there yet, but if we could just point out the ducky when we get there, because he's important. I love him too.
Gary skips. But oh my goodness, nice. Wow. Again, just bossing it.
I'll react in a second. Okay, I'm not sure what we were reacting to. Oh, I see. Okay, I know what we're reacting to now.
Yeah, so like there's like sort of 4 nails there, but with a series of jumps, you can just do 2 of them, and that obviously saves time because the whole like jumping mechanic is pretty a little bit. There he is, Monsieur. Oh my God, Connard.
Oh, you know what? I think I finally fixed the latency. It only took like an hour. I missed him, unfortunately, but there was Monsieur. What's duck? I don't even know what duck in French is. I don't know.
I think
So
it's
somebody come up
Connard.
with a funny French name for the duck.
Yeah, Monsieur Duck.
Monsieur Duck. Yeah.
Except it's like DUQUE.
Somebody somewhere knows like a funny French punny name for that duck, and that's what we'll name him.
I am digging le bell.
So these jumps here on these moving platforms are miserable. This is like some of the worst timing jumps in this game. They're like that's what you have to do casually, and they're still really rough. This room in particular that we just got to is really hard to time.
Yeah, I got a bad cycle.
Yeah, the cycles in this room are horrible. Like it's a speed run, so you want to move fast, but like there's certain cycles. If when you come into this room, you just have to sit and wait for like a whole cycle to go by before you can start again. Because it's okay, we got nice.
Nice.
Omelette du fromage. Bit cliche, but I'll go for it.
You get a duck recipe after this one?
After this, I don't remember what you get after this one. I know after the last one, the bird level, you get chicken cordon bleu. Don't remember. I think this level gives you like Eiffel Tower dipping sticks or something, like some some breadstick recipe, if I'm remembering right.
More than an eyeful. It's a mouthful.
True. Oh wow, that's clever. That sounded really sarcastic. I'm sorry. That was I didn't mean it like that. I swear I'm not that mean.
I'm well accustomed to Zaya giving out compliments, and it's can get better than that.
Monsieur Canard. There we go. I don't know if I said that right, but that's his name now. Thank you for the research. 5-2, probably one of the weirdest levels in the game. Have some funny jumps coming up in this courtyard thing here. This world is called Kitchen, but we don't actually get to a kitchen until like the 5th level in it. The rest of it is like weird, like air conditioning units and courtyards. It's one of the weirder levels thematically, but it is also the final world in the game. So we're getting there. We've got after this level, we got 3 more platforming levels, a chase and a boss fight, and then that's curtains for Rat PSP.
Momentum. Hello.
Oh yeah, this section is awful. You have a fan blowing into your face that you have to time, or it kills all of your momentum.
Nice. Oh.
Yep,
wow.
it's another section that's highly dependent on momentum. Yep. It is. There's so many parts of the run that like aren't necessarily like the biggest, scariest tricks, but can like cost you a ton of time when you least expect it. And this level is absolutely one of those places.
And this is why they call Paris the Windy City, right? It's all the shafts.
You might have to Google that.
Because of this
I
level,
think that's
actually.
misinformation. True, yeah.
Because of
They actually they made Paris based off of this game. It wasn't a place, but they built it after Ratatouille PSP. That's true. Nice ledge grab. Those things are those trash cans are very annoying to ledge grab. Sometimes they don't give it to you.
it was completely destroyed in the war, and then when Ratatouille came out, the French people got together and said, "We've got to rebuild Paris."
That's so true. Everything we've said on this stream is true, by the way. Like you don't need to like look up anything that I've
Do
said.
not
It's probably
fact check
true.
anything.
Yeah, don't fact check it. You don't need to do that. That would just waste your time. Play Ratatouille
Facts.
PSP instead.
The facts don't lie. We do.
What do you mean we? I've never lied.
You know.
So so we're about to if you remember the bolt from the very first level, way back about 3 years ago when we were playing that. We carried a bolt through a fan. Well, we're going to do that again. And Gusteau here. Yep, see? He told you about it. Now we're going to have to walk it across these platforms. This section is pretty scary because the timing between platforms is very tight. Like you have very little time to walk to the next platform before the one you were on drops. It probably looks scarier than it is. I mean, you do have more time than it might look like, but it still is very scary.
Beautifully done.
Beautifully done, truly. Magnifique. See, that was French because it's a French game. You guys welcome. Alrighty, 5-3. Last race level in the game. I'm sad to say goodbye to Teen Rat, but yeah, honestly, I don't really care that much. We haven't heard his dialogue very much, but he's pretty annoying. He's like, Remy, why don't you let me win ever? He's one of those characters. So I think he's like reformed after this level, though. He realizes the folly of his ways.
Yeah. I mean, I can't stand teenagers. I'm really grateful that I was born with my.
I was about to say, yeah.
That already
Yeah,
there for me. But I mean,
Alrighty,
once
so
again,
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say once again, like Boop just looking good. There's pretty gross platforming, but just bossing it.
Yeah, I mean, just to say it again, like there's so many like corner cuts and skips and tight jumps here that Floop is doing that we don't even have time to call out. That are just really satisfying to hit, but also just really tricky. And it's just this run is just nonstop. It's one jump after another. It's one trick after another. You got to keep it moving and keep hitting these jumps and keep hitting these tricks. And Floop is doing an incredible run. I mean, especially considering they've been playing for going on 2 hours now, basically nonstop. In front of a very large audience, and they're still killing it. So, could not have asked for a better runner to do this. I'm really happy to get to watch it.
Well, there is one runner better than Floop.
Okay, what's the punchline?
Floop's big brother.
Is this real, Flip?
No,
No. Okay.
maybe. In time.
Seems unlikely. Well, only one of you two has the Rat PSP No Out of Bounds world record.
That is true.
No, I love these race levels. Pure speed. I am
Just pure speed. Yeah, they are designed to just keep you moving. Like, you don't have to backtrack and hit buttons and do this or that, or have to wait for cycles. You just run, and they are fun for that. They're mainly the reason that they're not our favorite levels sometimes is because there's not a huge potential for a lot of skips, just because you have to do the race, and the recipe is not loaded in until you do. This level actually has an out-of-bounds strategy that saves time if you do it perfectly, and it's one of the coolest looking out-of-bounds in the game. You can carry a cup through the border where it despawns, and then carry the unloaded cup, set it down, walk into the unloaded cup, pick it up, which loads it and pushes you out of bounds. And that's a really cool strat. Unfortunately, after that, the out-of-bounds movement is basically completely blind, and if you mess it up, you're soft-locked. And it only saves like 20 seconds, so... It's not worth it, but it is a cool strat. Speaking of cool, it's the level that happens in the freezer where everything is covered in ice, because of course we need a level like that. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was going to say that I'm sure Floop backed me up that Floop, you love ice in this game.
Oh, I love it.
You always tell me you can't get enough of it.
Yeah, this level's not annoying.
And you wish the whole game was made out of ice, right?
Yeah.
The ice physics in this game are so weird. Half of the time when you jump on ice, you get like crazy boost. Also, ham jump. I'll let you guys figure out why it's called ham jump. This is another pretty annoying strat. The ice physics in this game, half of the time when you jump, you launch, and half of the time it completely kills your momentum.
Nice.
It is like, it's like half of the time like steering a cruise ship, and the other time it's like slogging through mud.
Wow.
Imagining a bad elevator with this big guy.
Oh, the white bats are those guys have they take like 10 tail swipes to kill. They are so tanky. All of the enemies in the later levels are. And the next level in particular, 5-5, the last platforming level in the game, there are bats everywhere, and they will cut you. They mess up the run so badly because they fly above you, and then you jump and you bonk your head on the bat, and you miss a jump and you fall to the bottom, and it's a very vertical level where like you keep going up, and if you fall to the bottom, you're just done for because you can't get back.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the Ratatouille PSP ice physics at work there, where Floop was expecting to go flying there, and you normally do, but unfortunately they didn't until they tail swiped. It is really hard to predict, but it's okay because we get to do ham jump again, and I wanted to see it again.
I want to see more ham. I'm surprised you're not going for any of the available apples. Just more of a god gamer than I am.
Health is for weaklings.
Yeah, that's what I am.
True. Yeah, you'll notice when you tail swipe with ice physics, you get like a huge boost of speed that doesn't happen anywhere else. You get used to it once you get used to this level, but it makes no sense physically. Like your tail just remembers that you jumped off of ice and goes farther as a result. So to the comments about food safety, the entirety of Paris is infested with bats, bugs, and rodents. So this is actually pretty typical hygiene. It's fine. I mean, if they had to shut this place down, they'd have to shut down every place in Paris.
But when it comes to rats, that's where the Parisian inspectors draw the line.
True.
Especially French rats.
Especially French rats. Well, what other kind of rats live in France? I don't.
Expats?
X-rats? Oh, sorry.
X-rats, true.
Oh my gosh.
Almost.
We got one more platforming level to go, and it's a doozy. 5-5. We are going to do this in an entirely unintended order. We're going to... So this level normally, we're now sabotaging Skinner's restaurant. He's opened up a new restaurant with the recipes he stole from us. And now we're going through and sabotaging everything he's done in this restaurant. And we're going to give lots of people food poisoning to get back at Skinner. And that's okay for some reason. First skip here is this pipe skip here. We're going to jump up to the next pipe. That looked really easy. That is extremely difficult. Getting it first try is insane. So we're going to do all the acts of sabotage in a different order now. So, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I can't believe they got the jump just easy peasy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many tricks like that like looked easy because they got it first try, but they are not easy. Now we walk across the beaches while getting shot at by Webbers.
Carrying the great garlic. This is as close as we get to cooking in this game.
Yeah, true.
We gotta enjoy it.
The only cooking we do is sabotaging food. If anything, we're like as far away from cooking as possible. The name of this show is A Meal to Die For, and that's because we're gonna food poison all the people that eat at this restaurant.
Because a lot of people don't realize this, but Rizians, they're just like vampires, you know? One mouthful of garlic and they're goners. It's true? Don't look it up.
True. That is true. They're all vampires. I'm sorry, that's probably not true.
That's why they look so good.
True. This part is the worst. These bats will try to bonk you and knock you down so much. And if you fall down here, you just have to reset because you didn't collect any checkpoints. Just how different. So I see more questions about this version compared to the other version. The PSP version is an entirely different game. Like, different devs, nothing in common with any other Ratatouille games. It's not a port. So there's on major consoles, there's 5 different versions of Ratatouille. The GBA, DS, and PSP games are all different from each other. And then there's 2 home console versions, one on the PS2 generation, one on the PS3 generation. So there's 5 different, entirely separate Ratatouille games in total.
We're a sports choice.
Yeah, and 6 if you're a conspiracy theorist who thinks there's for some reason a second DS game, but there isn't. So anyway, here's the soap and the lasagna. Look, all these people who eat the lasagna. Just food poisoning, super illegal.
Beautiful.
And that is the last platforming level of the game. We've got a race to go, and we've got a final boss, and then that's it. We're very nearly approaching the end here.
Also, it looked like that chef did like a Sims, like getting into the shower transition as they just
probably, yeah. I think that's a Horst model, like Horst, like the guy in the movie, like, I choose the man with this thumb. I think that's a Horst model with green hair. Like, it looks exactly the same.
I think so, yeah.
We are zooming though. And this sort of ending, it's very similar to another Ratatouille PSP game, right? With sort of the running around in the kitchen of Skinner. Or sorry,
the other 2 console games both end with a Skinner chase as well. This game doesn't actually end with it though, because we're gonna fight him after this. So This is actually the second to last level. But the other 2 games drop a chandelier on him, which is very funny. Sadly, this game isn't as mean. We just humiliate him in front of like this boss or whatever. But it's still funny because he made us go through all this. So
it's just interesting to me because obviously, like, it was all different sort of dev teams. They're all like, we gotta have a chase of Skinner, and then that's how we finish off the game. I know, it's interesting.
Except for Helix, who made the DS and GBA versions, they didn't get the memo. What can you do?
Punchy.
Yeah, I don't know. This kitchen is. I don't know how anybody walks through here. I mean, look at this. This is like an OSHA violation and a half. Forget all the insects crawling around. Just the amount of like random junk on the floor.
Can't get the staff these days.
I know, right?
I mean, this being Paris, France, we're all busy probably rioting.
True, yeah. So this level is, it's just a long chase where you kind of have to remember where things are because it's very easy to get stuck somewhere. And Skinner runs pretty fast. He's moving. And if you die, you go back to the very last revolution around the restaurant you did. So it's pretty punishing to die here. So it's not a super difficult level in isolation, but the fact that it's so late in the run and a death here will cost, a minute, if not more, makes it scary.
Really good work, Flip.
Last level. Final boss fight. Guess who's coming to Skinner? We're finally fighting him face to face. There's a very funny strat here you can do. So the second phase of this fight, it's supposed to take 3 cycles to beat Skinner. You can get on top of his hat and hit him. It takes 3 hits to knock him to the next phase. It is possible to hit him twice in 1 cycle, but if you mess it up, you have to do an extra cycle. I don't know if Floop is planning to go for a double cycle, but if they get it, we'll do it in 2. If they don't get it, we'll do it in 4. So it's a high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the Skinner portrait is absolutely delightful. I don't know if you guys saw the Franklin poster back in sewers, but he is also my jam. All right, let's see. Let's see.
Yes!
Got it. Let's go. That's a double hit. That is really hard. Great way to end the run. That double jump into his hat is very difficult to time. And that's the second phase. Skipped a whole cycle. Nice job.
When I get this recipe.
Yeah, so he's gonna fall down on his legs and sit down on the floor, and a recipe will spawn, and we'll collect it, and that's it. We do have to check the in-game timer after the credits play. We can skip them. Don't forget to do that, Fluke.
Skip them, get the IGT, then play the credits.
Right. The ending cutscene is pretty funny because he gets coated in flour, and then a guy makes fun of him.
And that's it.
Yo, GG's. Incredible run.
Oh, that's almost world record.
150. The world record is 154.54. That was 10 seconds off a world record. Incredible run. Incredible run.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, nicely done.
That was a blast. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, Fluke, for doing the run. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Fun.
Yeah, folks. Thank you so much. I think you definitely sparked some interest in the chat, even if it's just for this series in general. But if folks are interested in this game, how would they go about giving it a go? Do you know?
Speedrun.com/Ratatouille_PSP. We have boards. There's a Discord linked on the boards. Come say hi. We have lots of ILs and IWs. Game is very approachable. You could start with very short, very fun runs. We'd love to have more runners. Yeah, check us out.
Nice. And then, Bloop, with that run in the bag, if folks want to find more of what you do, whereabouts can they find you?
Find me on Twitch, Virtual Flute.
Awesome. And then, commentators, feel free to do some of your own personal shout outs or a bit of shilling. You're more than welcome to.
Twitch.tv/Zaya_. Don't forget the underscore. The one without the underscore is an imposter.
And
Understandable.
Don't come find me. Just leave me alone, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Twitch.tv cheeky chunk. Same as the username there.
Oh no.
you don't want to disturb Cheeky Chunk. Anyway, folks, we have I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight. It's been good fun. It's definitely been a pick me up. I've been feeling a little bit rough, but some PSP action never goes amiss. But we are going to be throwing it over to just a couple of generations before the PSP. We are going to be going on to the Genesis next. So Going Places is saying goodnight for the time being, but Hotfix is very much still happening. We are going to be throwing it over to Presentia, who's going to be showing us a couple of matches of Grudge Match, little sort of speedrun challenges. Speedrun challenges, and an attempt to, I don't know, settle feuds, I believe. But you should definitely check out who's going to be on next and the rest of the games that are going to be on for this evening as well. But we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for Going Places. But do stick around the channel for all of the lovely Hotfix action. And yeah, we will see you soon.